that deal look like?
I'm not sure yet. I think McCarthy's working on that. I think he will get something for a debt ceiling. I don't think it will be a clean debt ceiling vote, which a lot of Democrats want. And if it is, then it's going to go late.
That's what the president wants.
That's what he wants.
Those two things separate.
But to one of Sachin's points, I agree with him that there probably won't be a competitive Democratic primary. Listen, if I was advising Robert Kennedy Jr., I'd have him run in the Green Party. And that could be super disruptive to Democrats. I think running as a Democrat is he's at 10 or 12% right now. Maybe he gets to 15, but it won't be competitive. Is
Kennedy's nomination, is that just a nod to the anti-vaxxers? What is that exactly?
I think it's the anti-vaxxers. I don't think that he has credibility with mainstream environmentalists anymore. I think he did for a long time, but I think the last 10 years have shown that he's kind of gone off the rails. You've got him and Marianne Williamson. Maybe you have a couple other people like that, but I think that he's seen as a fringe candidate. I think the media is paying attention. I don't think Democratic voters are going to give him a nod. If a poll out there just on name recognition alone, has him at 10 now, I'd be surprised if he got 3% in a Democratic primary in a state like Wisconsin when people are paying attention.
Sachin Chedda and Bill McCoshen, my guests, Democrat, Republican strategists, both in the room at the same time, talking civilly about political issues. How refreshing is that? This is just a promo for my own show. All right, we'll take a break, and I'm going to get to a lot more with these gentlemen, including the big Fox Dominion settlement. Did that break after the show on last Friday? I think it did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
So we haven't had a chance to hash that one out.
Yeah.
We'll get to the details, which I'm waving this piece of paper like these are the details.
Well, people can see us now, so they can see the paper.
Well, they can't see what's on it. Not the details, but it sounds like it. That's the illusion
Well,
of
if
radio.
you're Amy Coney Barrett, there's nothing on it.
That's right. Good for you, Bill. That was well done. All right, quick break. You're listening to WTMJ.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
New rules, same old Bob Uecker.
Time call now. Here's a penalty. Offside.
All season long, right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Advent. I've told you about the snoring issues, tossing and turning, horrible nights of sleep. You don't have to live with that. I didn't. I did something about it. I went to Advent, quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talked to 2 docs on my first visit. They put me at ease. We did a really simple sleep study at home in my own bed, determined the root cause of my problem, my sinuses, nasal passage, and my breathing triangle. Short procedure in office. That was probably 2 years ago now. Again, last night, 7.5 solid hours of sleep. That is gold for somebody of my age. That can be you. If you struggle like I did, take the time to find out how Advent can help you. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because I've said it over and over again, Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Listen to The Fix-It Show this Saturday morning in the 7 o'clock hour with special guest Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair. Chris will discuss and answer questions about basement problems and solutions. Accurate Basement Repair serves all of southeastern Wisconsin with comprehensive, cost-effective basement repairs, including foundation restoration and waterproofing. Check them out online at AccurateBasementRepair.com and listen to The Fix-It Show this Saturday starting at 7 a.m. with Accurate Basement Repair's Chris Mancuso.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Oh, we always have fun here on WTMJ on Fridays. Even when we're talking about politics, we can have a civil, honest conversation. My guest, Bill McCoshen, as always, and special guest, Sachin Chedda, filling in for the vacationing Joe Zepecki. We'll hear all about it next week, I'm sure. The tanned, maybe
Tan, rested, and ready with his
buff,
hat on
buff.
backwards. Yeah, we got to tease him about
Joe,
that.
Yeah, Sachin, Joe wears his hat backwards on him.
We call him Coach.
He's a coach.
Zepecki,
Yeah.
He's the kid on our team, right? So he could be Steve
He's not
or
that
my
young.
son. He's
How
close.
old is
41.
he? He's 41?
I would have had to have had him in high school, but
Right.
technically he could be.
I tell people I'm 63, so they tell me I look good.
Oh, you just make Oh yeah, I'm 70. Wow, you look good.
Yeah, that's the plan.
We'll have to try that. All right, so gentlemen, after we talked last Friday, Joe and Bill, the big settlements. I think a lot of lot of people were hoping for the dog and pony show where they were trotting out those Fox anchors, although it wasn't going to be on TV. So how exciting would that be? So they settled for 700 and something.
757, I think.
Yeah, 0.5.
Yeah.
So, and it's like half of what Dominion was asking.
Right.
So now we've seen. There's a rumor today that a couple of folks are going to get it whacked, and Dan Bongino's out. He says nothing to do with this on Saturday nights. He was like one of the most popular programs. He's gone. Maria might be gone. Bartiromo. And there's one more, Janine Pirro. Lots of rumors out there. Is that so? Let me get your overall sense of what that was about. What do you think happened last Friday?
Facts matter and the truth matters, right? So there were certain Fox hosts that sort of bought the theory that the election was stolen in 2020. There was no proof to that ever. And so I think the fact that Republicans and some Republicans and some Fox hosts kept their foot on the gas on that didn't serve our party well in 2022, frankly, and that may last into 2024. So, elections have consequences, and in this case, it had a consequence for Fox because they perpetuated a myth.
Does it have any impact, do you think, on the future? Because I think that's to all of us that care about stuff like this, that's more a relevant issue. What does it do to their coverage of the next election?
I don't think for their evening hosts, which are opinion-based, I don't think it changes much of anything. They may have a few more Democrats on some of their daytime programming, and they have some now. Their most popular show is called The Five, and it runs from 4 to 5 o'clock, and they always have a Democrat on there, and it's pretty reasonable.
I always feel bad for her because she's like surrounded.
Harold Ford Jr. does a really nice job.
He does.
My wife feels sorry for her, Jessica, too.
Yes.
She gets picked on for sure. So I think you may see a little more balance during their daytime programming.
Fair and balanced?
But probably not from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I think they'll stay with
heads, they're not doing anything with it.
Really? I don't think.
Not even in a subtle little way?
Well, if you looked at Tucker Carlson's tweets or texts during this, and some of those leaked out from the deposition, he wasn't a big Trump fan, turned out.
No, turned out, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sachin, what do you think? You're looking at this like,
I mean, look, I always thought the right wing of American politics was pro-business. This is an American business that they went after, and they're now having their day in court. I think this issue is going to stay in the news. I don't think it's just about Fox because they have lots of lawsuits. They've got one against OANN. They've got one against Newsmax. They've got some individual ones against human beings. They're going to succeed in all of those. Those lawsuits are going to be successful, whether they go to trial or whether they're settled. I think some of these folks might make the wrong decision for them and not settle, and that's just going to keep this issue of the 2020 election in the news. I think that helps Trump in a primary. I think it hurts the Republicans overall in the 2024 election, and I think we're just going to see a continued we're just going to keep litigating the 2020 election, right? And that isn't good for Republicans.
If we do, you'll keep winning.
Yeah, I think that's true. Look, we agree again.
You've won 14 out of 17, and we got to stop fighting the last election and start fighting the next one. We know what the rules are, right? I can't stand when my side says, well, you guys cheated or it was rigged or whatever. We knew what the rules were going into 2020.
You and I know both have said this over and over again, but yet I look at my text line, there's people that say, Trump 2024. I don't know what to say to those people, but at some point, I mean, the light bulb has to go on. And if you really want to win, not a primary, but an election.
You got to win the general to do anything. You
Otherwise,
can't change
what are you doing?
policy
You're throwing money
by
at
winning
nothing.
a primary. Right.
I mean, if Donald Trump had a message that, if he radically changed his own personality and went out there and talked about, I appointed judges and I want to, cut spending and, all the things that he could talk about that are conservative values. Again, he won an election already. He won in 2016, basically on the promise of being something different. People don't want what Donald Trump is selling today, but also the American public is forgiving, right? The question is he capable at the age of 70, whatever, of changing his stripes? I don't think so. And again, I think, if he continues to take the bait and his supporters continue to take the bait as these issues continue to get litigated in the public and in courts, it's going to be bad for Republicans and it's going to be good for Democrats.
Well, he hasn't changed his spot, and I think if he wanted to put DeSantis in the rearview mirror, he would focus on Biden, not on DeSantis. I mean, he's running ads against Ron DeSantis right now, and that just reminds people like me, people in the suburbs who weren't crazy about him to begin with, or sort of cooled on him over the 4 years of his presidency that it's the same. It's all this chaos, and it's all about him. If he focused on Biden and what his case is against Biden, he could probably blow DeSantis away.
This is a big picture question. We only got a minute before we go to break. Either of you think that Fox settlement with Dominion or any of the future settlements will do anything to change the debate on national programs about politics and elections? Real change. A focus on accuracy. Because that's all I care about.
I just think they'll be slightly more careful, right? That like when you're out there declaring something to be true that is just absolutely unprovable, right? The Mike Lindell, whatever that other woman's name was, who just kind of
Sidney
went out
Powell.
there. Yeah, they went out there and you knew in real time it was craziness. But they were allowed to kind of fester in the right-wing media. And I just think, if you're on the right, you have a case to make on lots of issues. Why rely on nonsense? And that's a choice that was made over the course of a period of time. I think, maybe these right-wing hosts will say, well, let's focus on things that we can actually put forward that are rational.
But back to my point just a couple of minutes ago, we're fighting about the rules after the fact, right? We know what the rules are going in, and that's the campaign you have to build. You have to build your strategy around what the rules are in all 50 states and act accordingly, rather than wait till after the election and complain that Democrats did this or Democrats did that, which, by the way, we're all within the rules.
Bill McCoshen, Sachin Chetta, our guests on this Friday political conversation on WTMJ. We'll take a break. We're not going to have a lot of time before the news, but I want to get to the potential future matchup. Tom Tiffany, Tammy Baldwin. Who else might jump in the fray? I know you guys have some thoughts. We'll get to that and more on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. Tell your friends.
Francis, the socks are on.
Tell your family.
Frankie, the socks are on.
The Red Sox are in town.
They're playing the Brewers in Milwaukee.
It's the Brewers and the Sox.
Kelnick onto the warning track. He looks up. Bye-bye, baseball.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:35.
Yelich leads it off with a home run. His third of the season, and the Brewers on top 1-0 before you can blink.
We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
At Evans Transportation, they love the sound of Milwaukee baseball. Bats cracking, crowds cheering, brats grilling. And Evans is a big fan of manufacturing runs, both on the diamond and in supply chain management. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. Because just like in baseball, teams who know how to manufacture runs have the best chance of long-term success. Good luck to the Brew Crew from Evans and Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Who's hungry? Mark your calendar for April 22nd through the 30th for Lake Geneva Restaurant Week. This culinary adventure features dozens of the area's finest restaurants with exclusive menus and special pricing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. From casual cafes to elegant fine dining, the choices are endless as we celebrate Lake Geneva's amazing dining scene. Check out participating restaurants, menus, and all the tasty details at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for distinctive dining.
With inflation affecting so many families, the super affordable Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford is better than ever. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mine Shaft restaurant. It's been locally family-owned for over 46 years. It's a Fish Fry Friday. The all-you-can-eat codfish fry is just $9.99. Most fish fries at other restaurants, $16 or so. Maybe more. At $9.99, this is the best fish fry value anywhere. The Mine Chef desserts are all buy one, get one free. That chocolate cake is the best. Get some ice cream with it. The Saturday prime rib dinner is under $25. The Sunday brunch is all you can eat and only $14.99. And the breakfast, they're huge, $8.99 or less. It's also big value. The super affordable Mine Shaft restaurant right there on beautiful Main Street in downtown Hartford, or in Oshkosh, easy to get to right off the interstate. Both locations, tons of seating, tons of close parking. Reserve your table for the $9.99 fish fry today. MineShafRestaurant.com.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Quick listener text. I love this. Laura from Las Vegas. Loyal listener of the show, by the way. I love that. I think she's from Wisconsin. Republicans need to focus on inflation, crime, the border, foreign policy. Biden's policies have been a disaster. If we focus on that, we should be able to win in 2024.
I think she's right.
Laura, yeah. Focus on the right stuff.
Focus on the issues.
Not the nonsense.
Nonsense. Right.
Just a cold, hard slap across the face sometimes is all
Politics
you need. And I'm a
101.
nonviolent person, Bill.
Meet voters where they are.
Yes.
Politics 101.
All right, so much common sense in here today. What's that about? All right, Sachin Chetta, Bill McCoshen will continue the conversation after this. Our news time is 9:30-ish. From our Breaking News Center, Mike Spalding.
Thank you, Steve. The Milwaukee Police Department now has 48 hours to show the families of those involved in officer-involved shootings and any other critical incident. The body cam recording of that encounter under rules are unanimously approved by the Milwaukee Fire Police Commission Thursday night. The department also now is going to be required to release that same footage to the public within 15 days. A man accused of shooting and killing a 36-year-old woman last week in Racine is now in police custody. Alejandro Sierra turned himself into Racine police on Thursday evening during a traffic stop. He's charged with homicide in the April 15th shooting death of Alexis Fisher. And 2024 is going to be shaping up to look a lot like 2020 did when it comes to the race for the White House. ABC News reporting that President Biden's planning to announce his re-election bid next week, becoming easily the most prominent Democrat running. On the Republican side, former President Donald Trump also entered the race, announcing his plans earlier this year. Time now for some news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow up right now 63 points at 33,849. The Nasdaq down about 9.5 at 12,049. The S&P 500, that is up 3.5 points at 4133. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Taking a look at your roads and your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Everything is looking good across the system. No major incidents, no delays.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback.
Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law is the local veterans benefit claims law firm. They're now accepting Camp Lejeune claims. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Breezy as well, a high 61. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy, low 38 degrees. Lakeside, 32 degrees inland. Tomorrow morning, a chance of a wintry mix. Trace amounts of accumulation on the grass or some elevated surfaces. Shouldn't be too much, though. High 49 degrees. Sunday, partly sunny skies, a high 48. Monday, mostly sunny. Chance of a shower or two, a high 52 degrees. Tuesday, cloudy skies, chance for rain, a high of 51. In Milwaukee this morning, it is 49 degrees. I'm Mike Spalding, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 9:33.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature sponsored by the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. We all know that seeing your doctor when you're not feeling well or for regular checkups is important, but what about care specifically for your heart? Here to talk about risk factors for heart disease and when you might want to consider seeing a heart doctor is Dr. Laura Beecher, a cardiologist at the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin. First of all, Dr. Beecher, thanks for being here. Let's start off. What exactly is heart disease?
Heart disease comes in many forms. There are many types, including coronary artery disease, which is what you think about with heart attacks, heart valve disease, congestive heart failure, rhythm issues, and then congenital heart disease that people are born with.
Doctor, what are some of the common risk factors for heart disease?
Risk factors include things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, lack of exercise, a history of smoking or currently smoking, and then really family history and your age.
Are there different types of cardiologists?
Yeah, so there are general cardiologists that treat most heart diseases, and then there are subspecialties within cardiology that do more specific care for things like advanced heart failure and transplant, heart rhythm issues that need specific treatments, and specialists that treat adult patients with congenital heart disease.
Doctor, what quality should somebody look for when they're choosing a cardiologist?
So you want to look for a myriad of things, so experience and education, including that they're board certified and have fellowship training, and then if they have any subspecialty training in your condition particularly, if they work within the same group of physicians as your other specialists or a primary care doctor, and what treatments they have available to them.
Dr. Beecher, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Find a doctor who's right for you by visiting freighter.com/heart or calling 414-777-7700.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Glad to be with you on this Friday. Don't forget, coming up at 11 o'clock hour is Steve's Rule of the World special Bucks edition.
Nice.
We got to show the Bucks some love. Sachin has a Bucks shirt on today.
He does.
He's the only one wearing the green.
Our Brewers are 14-5. They're back in town this week.
We're having a great sports spring for Milwaukee.
Yes, we are.
Milwaukee Waver fighting for the conference finals tonight.
They're always solid. And they don't get enough love.
They're a lot of fun, man. You
They
should
are
go
a lot
see
of
them.
fun. I've saw them a long time ago. I need to get back into that. I actually know some of the players. They've been on
Really?
the show. Yeah, they've been on the show.
Nice.
So we got to do that. All right, gentlemen. Not to look too far ahead, we were kind of talking about the presidential side. What about the Senate position? Tammy Baldwin, she's announced she's going to run for re-election. There's been a lot of conversation about who might that challenger be. Early on, it was Mike Gallagher. You and I both think, Bill, that that's not going to happen.
Right.
Why do we think that's not going to happen? Why do you think that's not going to happen?
I think he's got a great position in the House. He's in a safe seat. He's got this special committee on China right now that's going to give him national exposure for a long time. If a Republican actually wins the White House in 2024, I could see Mike Gallagher being Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State, National Security Advisor. I mean, he's with his military background, he's got a very high ceiling. And I think at one point in time, he will be a national candidate. So I wouldn't waste my time if I were him running for U.S. Senate in a iffy race at best.
What about a Brian Style? First congressional
Brian
district.
Stiles got
my
a high
congressman.
ceiling, too. I like him a lot. I could see him running for governor in 26, to be honest with you.
Interesting. All right, so the other name that's been swirling about, and apparently he has done a few things on the technology side to allow himself to be a candidate, and that would be Tom Tiffany, who's representing a district way in the northern part of the state of Wisconsin. So what do we – I don't know a lot about Tom Tiffany. I do know this. He was one of two congressmen who voted to not certify the election.
He's beloved up north. He wins the 7th congressional district by big margins, even against well-funded Democrats. And if again, who's at the top of the ticket will have an impact on this race. If it's Trump, Tom Tiffany would do super well in the northern part of the state and probably in the 3rd district, which is Trump won that twice.
Sachin, is Tammy Baldwin beatable?
Look,
I know
it's
I know
18 months
possible.
away. Anything's possible, but Tammy Baldwin has consistently overperformed. She won massively in 2018, and put Leah Vukmir in the ground. I mean, it was just an astonishing victory. She's got the same leader. Scott is a fantastic consultant, knows what he's doing, and is going to run that campaign very solidly. I'm looking forward to that campaign. Gallagher would obviously be, I think, the strongest opponent, but I think you're right that he's not going to jump. I think the other person that people aren't talking about, but who I think is a very real threat, is Rebecca Kleefisch. She is someone, I think there is a gender advantage that Tammy brings to the table that would neutralize that. She's got a statewide base. She knows how to run a campaign. I know Bill wasn't the biggest supporter in the gubernatorial primary, but she might be one of your stronger options, and I don't know whether she's looking at it or not.
Give me the Tammy Baldwin talking points. Why would someone want to vote for Tammy Baldwin?
Tammy Baldwin's been a tremendous leader on healthcare. She's been a tremendous leader on veterans. She represents Wisconsin values well. She's someone who's quiet and calm and talks to people from all sides, and she's fought hard for Wisconsin her whole career.
One of the most liberal members of Congress.
I mean, if you say so. I think.
Well, I think most of the people that look at those metrics say she's the most liberal. But here's why I said it, because this is not a very liberal state. It's a purple state.
Sure, and I would say that Ron Johnson's extreme nonsense on things
Yes,
like
you can
vaccines
make
are
that
not
argument.
reflective
Yes.
of the state either. But I think at the end of the day, these are partisan elections. You vote for a Democrat or a Republican, as Bill has pointed out many times. Democrats have been pretty ascendant when it comes to statewide elections over the last few years, and Tammy's proven she can win and connects with voters.
She generally runs as a moderate, and her Made in America and things like that, and she works hard. I mean, Tammy will be all over the state, and she'll be a tough out. But I think Sachin's right that you got 18 months. The national picture will play a role in this. Democrats are going to be playing more defense than offense in 2024 in the U.S. Senate. There's 32 seats up. 24 of those are Democrats, and some are in deep trouble, like Joe Manchin in West Virginia, probably Testor in Montana. So will she be a top target for Republicans? I don't know. She's a top 5, but she's not a top 2.
I made this point before. I think Wisconsin likes to have divided government when it comes to their Senate positions. One of each. It represents the states.
I mean, that's been true for 13 years, right? I think, and for a good chunk of that. I'm having an event for Tammy. You guys are both invited next month.
She's been on the show many times. I probably won't be at the event, though.
She's a hard worker. You
Is there
can't
food?
take that away from her.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet what yet, but
Well,
probably
if you have
probably
brat-
something good.
Tell you what, if you have bratwurst, I'll show up.
And if Mandela Barnes was able to raise, what was it, $40 million? She'll raise twice that.
I'm glad you raised that name, the candidate. What's he up to? What's his political future?
He's got a couple of things that he's doing. He started a PAC called the Long Run PAC, and he took a volunteer role heading a thing called Power to the Polls, which has been and is going to be the primary turnout vehicle in Milwaukee. And he's got his fingers in a lot of stuff. He's someone who's got relationships all over the state. He just was on a panel with Pod Save America. He's got a national profile. People love him. I love him, and I think he'll continue to be active. I don't know what he's running for or if he's running for anything, but he's got a leadership role to play in our movement.
As the Democrat, so Dane County is just coming out crazy whenever the ballot box is open and we're voting.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee, you can get them interested, but not in that same. Is that the goal here? Is to rev that up?
Well, look, the margins in Milwaukee have only improved, right? We're up over 70% regularly for Democratic voters. And the reality is that, population's pretty stable in Milwaukee. It's not losing a ton. It's not growing a ton. The population's growing in the suburbs, and those are getting more blue. So I think I don't just look at the border and say that's it. I look at the Milwaukee metro market and I say it's getting a lot better for Democrats and we're getting more votes out of it. You look at, how Walker did in 2010 to where we are now, where it's completely reversed in terms of what the market does. So it's not just Dane County. In fact, you take all the votes out of Dane County, we still win the Supreme Court race. So not in every race is it going to be like that, but we can get votes everywhere.
The thing about Dane County, which that area, how many more people can they jam in there? It's like
it's
everybody's
the fastest
moving
growing county in the state, and it's
the fastest growing county in the Midwest.
When
and growing
when
with
do
young people.
conservatives start moving in there in big numbers, Bill? That's my question.
We got some work to do.
We
There's
do.
no question about that.
Can you lead that effort?
I'm working on it. My wife wanted to know why the heck I went to the 2nd Congressional District Caucus last week or to the Dane County caucus a month before that, and I said, well, we got to do something, honey. We're getting slaughtered here.
We got to show up. We got.
I mean, look, these are college-educated, high-income people.
Yeah.
And they're universally blue. And that's not only true, again, in Dane County, but it's what's happening in the Milwaukee suburbs as well. The blue-collar coalition that I grew up with as a Democrat, and the higher-income suburban, coalition that Republicans grew up with, it's flipped completely. And I think we've seen a real realignment. It started in the early 2010s, but I think it obviously massively accelerated after the 2016 election, and I think that's a permanent change.
I'm not sure they're universally blue. I think tone matters a lot. That generation is a little more accepting on all fronts, and so if you come off as the hothead, you're going to turn them off right
Real
away.
quick, do you have liberal friends?
I do.
Do you have conservative friends?
Absolutely.
See, that's why I like you guys, because we're just talking about this before the show with a teammate. There's like wars over politics that have separated friendships. That's insane to me.
Yeah, it's
Why?
It's not worth it.
No, it's
right?
not worth it.
I like guys like Sachin and Joe because we can have a thoughtful conversation about politics and we can laugh about the dumb stuff and sort of have disagreements about some of the important stuff.
And I will bet you on Milwaukee radio, this is the only place where this is happening right now. I would make that bet. Safe bet.
I think it's a safe bet.
A little self-serving, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I mean, hey, you get to promote your show, Steve. I'm in favor of that.
Sometimes I do it right in the active show that I'm talking about. Sachin Sheta, Bill McCoshen. Quick break. After the break, budgets, marijuana, what's going to happen? We'll discuss after this.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert back to report even more home buyers paid over the asking price last month, rising to 50% in the 5-county metro area. 3 out of 10 paid $10,000 or more above that list price. The good news is appraised values are generally keeping up with the over-asking offers. Still, the most powerful thing a buyer can do to make their offer the most attractive in a multiple offer situation is to give the seller some appraisal wiggle room. Telling the seller you're willing to pay over the asking price, even if the house appraises lower, sounds scary because most buyers think they have to fill that potential gap with more down payment. But in the vast majority of cases, AccuNet is showing home buyers how they can offer appraisal wiggle room without bringing a nickel more to closing. Appraisal wiggle room is like a good card trick. You need to see it to believe it. So if you're home shopping with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, upgrade today to an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi here for Heiser Automotive. I love Heiser. You know that. I've bought cars from Heiser before I was their spokesperson, and I continually love to drive their newest vehicles. 5 great locations, the great brands, and easy to work with. Customer service, that's their focus. Never pay over MSRP. No hidden market adjustment fees. Currently driving a beautiful new Lincoln. I'll tell you more about that in the weeks ahead. I will tell you this, one of the best rides ever. Find out for yourself. Go to one of their 5 great locations. Go to Heiser.com. See all their vehicles, new, pre-owned, all their great programs, roadside assistance for life, vehicle exchange program. You buy a vehicle, you don't love it, exchange it. Doesn't get any easier than that. That's why they say every day at Heiser Automotive, today's your day.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Bernhardt.
For 3 decades, Top Fitness has been the most respected name in home fitness from coast to coast, and now they've opened their newest and largest showroom in Brookfield. Top Fitness has the biggest and best selection of exercise equipment, accessories, and gym flooring to build your perfect home gym. This month, save big during the annual floor model sale. All floor models must go. Save up to 70% off store-wide for a limited time while supplies last. Plus, save up to $1,000 on Precor treadmills and ellipticals. The Top Fitness team of experts can design your dream workout space with a complimentary 3D home gym design, so you can visualize what getting fit in the comfort and safety of your own home will look like. They offer professional delivery and assembly. Plus, for a limited time, enjoy 12 months of interest-free financing. Stop by Top Fitness in Brookfield on Blue Mound Road and online at topfitness.com. Top Fitness, your best choice in home fitness equipment.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Thanks for joining in on this Friday political conversation. We were talking a lot of the national stories and a little bit local with the Tom Tiffany potentially running against Timmy Baldwin. We'll see how that shakes out in the months ahead. Bill McCoshen, Sachin Sheta joining us, Democrat, Republican. The budget process is robust, underway. I'd like to see him meet for a little longer than a few hours a day, but, whatever. They're all busy guys and women. So, Bill, we'll go to you first. Where are we at on things like shared revenue, the big one, marijuana, which you'll applaud yourself, pat yourself on the back about that one, because you said something might happen on that.
I did. I predicted that the medical marijuana was not dead, and it is not dead. Let's talk about the budget.
Yes.
I'll give your listeners a little inside information. The first votes by the Joint Committee on Finance will begin on May 2nd. They will vote every Tuesday and Thursday until June 15th. So the Finance Committee will be completed by the 15th. Budget then takes a few days to get drafted, and the final week of June is when they expect to have it through both houses. So they will meet the deadline of the June 30th end of the year. That is the current schedule. As it relates to Milwaukee, the mayor was in Madison on Tuesday and Wednesday. I think it was a bumpy trip, but that's part of the process. I think they will find a way to get to yes on both sides, but that's not going to happen in the next couple of weeks. It may take a little longer than that, but give the mayor credit. He's putting in the shoe leather. He's working to help the city of Milwaukee, and he's up there personally. He's not relying on others.
I don't want to make this just a Milwaukee problem, though, because matter of fact, I have a county exec on next week from Washington County. There's a lot of local leaders who are saying out loud on any venue they can access, we need help here.
Something's going to happen on shared revenue. There's no doubt about that.
What
But they are
like?
of separate, right? There's this Milwaukee issue, which sort of is an entity in and of itself, and then there's the rest of the state. I think both are going to get solved during the process, but there's a recognition among conservatives and Republicans that something needs to be done for local government.
And Sachin, on the Democratic side, minority party in in both bodies, what are they saying? What are they saying about the process?
I mean, look, we've lived in this world since the 2010 election, where it's the Republican legislature and the governor who are going to make these decisions, and in this administration, and with Voss and LeMahieu and Evers, it's not like they talk a ton, right? And that's a reality. I'm not casting blame on any side, right? I'm a Democrat. I think that Republicans should operate differently, but obviously they feel that the governor could operate differently. They're going to have to get to a place where they can put something in front of him that he can sign. We are lucky, right? We have a massive, massive surplus right now. We have a moment in time where we can solve problems. That surplus is not guaranteed to exist forever, right? So some of that has to be one-time spending. I know, the Brewers case is one of those where we can get it done in one-time spending. Can't solve the long-term shared revenue problem with one-time spending. There has to be a structural change. And that's something that everybody agrees on, right? The counties agree on it. The towns agree on it. The municipalities agree. David Crowley's been up there as well, not just Mayor Johnson. You've got two leaders in Milwaukee. Frankly, it's even down below that. You've got Common Council President Jose Perez, who's been up there talking to folks and who's been engaged in these conversations. And so, it's good for everybody. And let me just say, for the Republicans, we don't need to have the RNC in a city where there are massive layoffs in city staff the fall before the RNC. It's going to affect the streets. It's going to affect garbage. It's going to affect police. If they don't get a deal done in the next 2 months, we're going to be in a situation we're going to see massive, massive cuts in city services and county services, and it's going to affect the quality of life here in Milwaukee. And so they've got to get it done. That's just a reality, and it's a reality about fiscal decisions that have been made by all sides over the course of 20 plus years. We have a property tax levy in the city of Milwaukee that basically covers the police department, right? And they were exempt from Act 10. And I know a lot of folks say, "Oh, you're pro Act 10." No, I'm saying you have a system that's set up where you were supposed to generate savings, and the savings weren't generated, right? Now, I don't think we should have passed Act 10 in the first place. I just think there's other things that we could have done to put us on a path of fiscal sustainability. I'm a strong supporter of moving city and county workers onto the state retirement plan.
Yeah.
I know that city and county
Everybody
workers
agrees on that.
would help a lot.
We never get to that point.
Well, it's just look, the Wisconsin retirement plan is the best retirement plan in the country.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's the best one in the country.
The
and it's funded.
standard.
It is the platinum standard,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so I understand that there's this perception that maybe their benefits would decline at some level. I think it's a great plan. I think it's how we meet our obligations to city workers.
Yeah.
Frankly, we're going to have to ask a little bit more from police and fire because they've got the sweet deal here. They've got the early retirement. They've got the massive pensions. That's what's causing the fiscal conflict, and we've got to address it. We've got to address it right now.
Real quick, marijuana, because I got to get to break. I mean, are we going to see something? There's a lot of talk that we might.
We won't see recreational marijuana. I think we will see medical or medicinal marijuana at some point, if not this spring, then in the fall.
I just think we're giving away tens of millions of dollars. We have bordering states. Every single one of them has at least something. Michigan and Illinois have full recreational marijuana.
Well, you went low. It's not tens. It's hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue.
Well, I don't think Wisconsin. Well, that's what will happen if we did it here.
Right.
I think Wisconsin citizens right now are spending the money in Wisconsin. In Michigan and Illinois, and that's just money we're giving away. And I think it's a solvable problem. And I think people should put their political hats aside and just do what's right in a competitive global economy and legalize pot. That's what we should do.
Sachin Chedda, Bill McCoshen. After the break, grab bag. They will decide what we talk about after this on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. This week on WTMJ.
Wisconsin State Assembly, Deb Andrakis.
We want to make sure that women who are pregnant can access the full range of care that their doctors say that they need.
The big names.
Marty Brooks, President and CEO of the Wisconsin Center District.
And the Wisconsin Center District owns outright all of the art that is currently on display.
The stories you're talking about.
To deal with the union a lot. I was a guy who handled grievances and everything like that. But once you accommodate one employee, you have to be fair across the board.
News Radio WTMJ.
If you want to be sure that you're getting financial planning advice you can trust, work with a fiduciary. A fiduciary should be someone who acts as a steward for you. It means they treat your assets as if they were their own, that they protect them as if they were their own, and that they try to grow them as if they were their own. Now you can take this for what it's worth, but I'm doing all I can to run a firm you can trust. That's why we're a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm that doesn't work for anyone but our clients and focuses only on their best interest. By being a steward, being a fiduciary to help our clients reach their financial goals. I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
If you're looking for the finest of furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com.
Explore Milwaukee's iconic Harley-Davidson Museum this spring. The Harley-Davidson Museum campus boasts one-of-a-kind shopping with exclusive Harley gear from 2 new retail stores, an interactive experience gallery, and the Motor Bar and Restaurant. Riverfront dining with daily specials like fish fries and barbecue. And make it a point to ride over on May 4th for Bike Night, where you can stock up with up to 70% off on deals from their factory shop. The Harley-Davidson Museum, 15 years as one of Milwaukee's top tourist destinations.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Accurate Basement Repair and Outdoor Living Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show.
We're joined in studio by Bill McCoshen, regular guest, and Sachin Chetta, filling in for the vacationing Joseph Heckey. I think he's vacationing. Maybe he's just doing something else.
He's the relief pitcher today.
Guy's showing up on radio stations and TV stations all over the state now.
Yeah.
Busy guy.
I'm having a week like Wilson.
All right, since you're the guest, you go first. Grab bag, Sachin.
I think 2 things. One is, I think we haven't talked about it yet. Maybe you guys did in an earlier week, but I think we're going to see some litigation on the maps, and I think that we're going to see the potential for new legislative district maps in Wisconsin. Here's what I think that means. I mean, leave aside the kind of the debate about gerrymandering, but the thing that is different about the Wisconsin legislature is that everybody's in their camps, and it is much more divided. It's much harder for folks to talk. We had a tradition in the state of moderate statespeople, right? And we had Republicans and Democrats across the ideological kind of gamut. And I think that an end to gerrymandering, that's what that would do. I don't think it means an immediate end to Republican control of the Assembly and the Senate. I think I said that in my testimony on this issue when I was up there last year. But I do think it means a different kind of tone, a different vibe. And I think that would be good for Wisconsin. And I think that that's something that even Republicans could see. And if you look at business folks who want to see progress on a whole lot of issues, people getting out of their ideological camps, I think that's a big thing. So that's the first thing I just want to say, that I think that this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for everybody, not just for the left. I think we're having a phenomenal time here with the Bucks. I think they came back. Milwaukee is ascendant sports-wise. I mean, I think we've just had a phenomenal run of success. The Brewers have made the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years, leading the division right now. It's something that sports are something that can bring people together. And right. I think we need to see more people in the suburbs, especially connect the dots, right? That you can have a major league team because you have a big city. And there's a lot of sniping, a lot of attacks. Milwaukee is a generally safe city. I understand we've had some problems. We've had problems all over the country with rising crime coming out of the COVID pandemic. A lot of things are happening in our economy. A lot of things are happening in our society. There's a lot of guns on the street, but this is the time to champion, right? And I want to champion the successes that are happening in Waukesha County and Ozaukee County, in Washington County. Tremendous growth. I love Kenosha. I love Racine. And you know what? Let's love all of Milwaukee, too. Let's bring people together. I never thought that Tommy Thompson actually didn't like Milwaukee, even when he said stick it to him, right? He didn't. He actually loves Milwaukee. He loves the train. He loves the city.
And he won Milwaukee County.
And he won Milwaukee County.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, there's an opportunity here for us we could be, we are the best state in the country. We can continue to be the best state. Let's get the Republicans who are out there sniping at Milwaukee. Let's get Milwaukee. It's out there sniping at the other part of the state. Let's change that. That's the thing I want to say.
He ends with all that positivity.
That's like amazing stuff.
I should have gone first because I got negativity.
Okay, well,
we're going to talk about that city just a little bit south of us, Chicago. New Mayor Brandon Johnson. There were essentially riots last weekend with young people in the city of Chicago. People were hurt, businesses were damaged, and the mayor sort of looked the other way. He blamed the system, that these kids were disadvantaged and not to be too hard on them. And I'll tell you what, leaders, the words that leaders use matter. And while he's, I think, telling those young people, the thugs, it's okay, do whatever you want, he's also telling businesses at the same time, pack up and leave because this isn't going to get any better. I don't have your back. I think that's an opportunity for Wisconsin from an economic development standpoint. Those businesses are going to be looking for somewhere to go. If this is Brandon Johnson's philosophy as mayor, that anything goes, and as long as you're disadvantaged, that city's going to empty really quickly.
As all politics aside, as someone who, a father who has a daughter who works in that part of town in Chicago, I'm not happy about it because that's dangerous.
Super dangerous.
It should not happen. Bill McCoshen, we'll see you next week. Cheddar, thanks for filling in. You did a fantastic job.
I appreciate that.
We'll put you on the list. whatever that means. The news is
last guest is now Secretary of State.
So big things for you.
Yeah, big things ahead.
We're late for news. The news is next on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But now, you can buy Beautyrest Hybrid and the highest-end Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near highest-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like the Beautyrest Queen Haven Bay. Was on sale for $1,178, now just $471. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Cut through the clutter with Axiom, the weekly newsletter from Annex Wealth Management. Subscribe today for 7 insights built and delivered to you every Sunday. It'll help you navigate the markets and the things that affect your money. The Axiom. Sign up at AnnexWealth.com.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
We're going to make the curse of the Bambino come back to haunt you.
Bounced into the hole at second base, fielded by Terang in shallow right. Spins and throws to first. Oh, what a dandy of a play by the Brewers' second baseman.
The Brewers are back at home to take on the Red Sox with coverage starting tonight at 6 on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
10:02, we have 49 degrees, partly cloudy and breezy today with a high of 61. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. All eyes on the Supreme Court this morning as a possible decision on access to the abortion pill could be released today. ABC's Rachel Scott is inside the court with more on what's at stake with this decision.
Access to the pill used in more than half of abortions in the United States is on the line, with the Supreme Court expected to decide at any moment whether or not new restrictions will go into place on the abortion drug mifepristone. The justices blew past their own deadline, giving themselves more time to consider a ruling by a lower court that would only allow the pill to be approved up to 7 weeks of pregnancy instead of 10.
Milwaukee Police Department now required to release video footage to the public within 15 days of a critical incident, plus a provision requires that families of victims have access to footage within 48 hours. Milwaukee Fire and Police Commissioner Bree Spencer saying the commission removed a section that would allow the police chief to extend that 15-day deadline.
The biggest thing I heard and took away tonight, and I was putting it underlined every time I heard it, was no extension. And as we've talked about, the utility and function of this policy is to help address a trust, transparency, and accountability gap.
Milwaukee police would previously release video within 45 days of a critical incident. A string of severe thunderstorms causing some severe damage and flooding in southeast Wisconsin. Thursday's storm system that brought rain, hail, and high winds also brought some trees down. Some fell harmlessly onto neighborhood streets, others directly onto Ashley Lazarki's.
You always think, oh, I wonder if, that never happened to me. Well, it happened to me. It was just like my heart did drop a little bit. I've only had this car a couple of years, and now I'm probably going to be getting a new one.
Thursday storms also brought large-size hail that ended up clogging storm drains, causing massive street flooding. Severe storms could slam parts of the southeast today. The system could bring heavy rains and wind gusts to areas stretching from Houston to Memphis and parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Here in the Midwest, North Dakota and Minnesota could see as much as 10 inches of snow. Sports traffic and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:04.
This report is sponsored by the Frederick Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
You receive a diagnosis from a doctor. You do some reading about it. Talk with your loved ones about it. You feel good about proceeding. Well, pretty good, that is. There's that one thing nagging at you. It's probably nothing, right? Or is it? A good reason to get a second opinion. The Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network not only offers but encourages second opinions on cancer, cardiovascular, orthopedic, spine, or neurological next steps. Second opinions often happen virtually and give you peace of mind about all that is humanly possible at an academic health network like ours, including innovative treatment options and clinical trials. Big decisions deserve a second opinion. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're here to help you feel good about your decision. Learn more or request an appointment at freighter.com/second opinion.
You can't see it, but you sure can feel it. The economy is struggling right now. How might this impact your retirement? This is Tony Drake, founder of Drake & Associates. Some retirement plans take into account economic downturns, stock market dips, and interest rate fluctuations. Does yours? To find out how your retirement could be impacted, request your Retirement Ready Toolkit from my team at Drake & Associates by calling or texting recession to 414-404-4994. This toolkit will provide helpful retirement information and give you strategies to move forward. Request your Retirement Ready Toolkit to find out ways you can prepare now for your retirement. Call or text recession to 414-404-4994.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Law Financial Group, LLC. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply any level of skill or training.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update.
Tied at a game apiece, the Bucks and Heat opening round in the Eastern Conference Playoff Series now moves to South Beach for Games 3 and 4. Game 3 will be played on Saturday night with a tip time of 6:30. Giannis will travel with the team, but it is still unclear if he will play. Over to baseball, where the Milwaukee Brewers will look to extend their 4-game winning streak as they welcome in Boston tonight to begin a 9-game homestand at American Family Field. The 14-5 Brewers will roll out with Freddie Peralta as their starter. That first pitch is scheduled for 7:10. You can tune in right here on WTMJ beginning at 6:35. And finally, the Oakland A's could become the Las Vegas A's. The organization has signed a binding agreement to purchase land near the Las Vegas Strip where they intend to construct a new major league ballpark. The hope there is to break ground on a new stadium next year as the A's could move in as early as 2027. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Taking a look at your roads now with your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. A-OK out there this morning. 94 inbound from Highway 16 to the zoo, running about 10 minutes. A 6-minute drive from the zoo to downtown. 41 northbound from the zoo to Highway Q, about 14. And 4145 southbound from Highway Q to the zoo interchange, about a 13-minute drive. 43 inbound from Brown Deer Road to the Marquette interchange, 11. And 94 from Layton Avenue to the Marquette interchange, running about 6 minutes this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor services all makes and models and carries high-performance compressors with a lifetime warranty. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, partly cloudy, breezy today with a high 61. Overnight lows tonight about 38. Lakefront 32 inland. Wintry mix possible tomorrow, breezy with accumulation maybe just a trace. A high tomorrow 49. Partly sunny on Sunday with a high 48. Mostly sunny Monday. Slight chance for a shower Monday and Tuesday. Monday's high 52. Tuesday's high 51. Right now Madison 47. Green Bay 49. Milwaukee 49 degrees. I'm Connie Weber. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:09.
Breaking down the biggest stories, talking about what really matters, and bringing you the biggest forum to let your voice be heard. Now, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, here's Steve Scaffidi.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We've made it to the end of the week if you're a Monday through Friday worker. If not, well, you got work to do this weekend. We appreciate all of that hard work. And thanks to Bill McCoshen and Sachin Chetta, who is filling in for Joe Zapecki, who is vacationing, for a spirited debate on politics. And again, I know it's self-serving and self-promotion, but we're trying to make a point that you can have these debates, these conversations, without the extremist yelling and screaming and nonsense that I often associate with politics. That's it. You can make your assessments, and we got a lot of great texts. I wish I could read all the questions, but I mean, obviously we only have so much time. I thought the guys were great today. So thanks for Sachin filling in for Joe. Now, my show poll today is something I'm only going to spend one segment on it, but I think it's interesting. It speaks to the me generation we all live in. Whatever our age, it's not age-specific. It's like all of us. The collective we are engaging in this. And it has to do with this stupid blue check on Twitter. If you're not a Twitter fan, it's called the verified check. It was something that they put in place to. Originally, it was done to make sure that if someone said they were a journalist or a celebrity or whatever high status credentialed person was, that you could trust that that's who it was. And I think it started because people were trying to impersonate celebrities or journalists. And then it morphed into when Elon Musk bought the platform, Twitter, into a pay-for-play, basically. You could sign up, and you can still do that now, and this is the only way you can get it now is to pay the $8 a month, which I'm not going to do. I never had a blue check, never cared about it. But the unbelievable consternation and angst and hand-wringing and, my God, somebody on Twitter, on social media this morning compared it to, like, Nazi behavior on the media at the time in Nazi Germany. It's like, get a hold of yourself. So here's the question. 855-616-1620, the old National Bank talking text line. I don't think this is hard, but I just wanted to have some fun with it because last night, I swear to God, there was tweet after tweet, all these different takes on it. It's like, and I'll read some of mine in a second. So here's the question. Scaffidi show poll. We do it every day. Lots of hoopla yesterday over Twitter's decision to remove the blue check for users unless they pay a monthly fee, $8. In the scope of things you care about, where does this fall? Zero, zip, nada, 63%. Seriously, who cares? 30%. That adds to 93.8%. If I ask a question on the poll, if you get more than 80%, it's a slam dunk. We're at 93.8. That is the slam dunk of slam dunks. I threw in a couple other ones. I hated it. Defined me. 0.5. That's the right answer. If you think that, you're nuts. And comments, Martin Moore, who's been a guest on the show, contributor at one point. Verification is vital to social media. There has to be some sort of bifurcation between those in media, news, radio, sports, entertainment who have real societal influence versus bots, trolls, anonymous users. I'm not arguing that point. But that should be platform-based, not user-based, because when users control it, it's going to be bastardized, and it's not worth the price of admission. If it's fairly and equitably determined by the platform, yeah, sure. Super King says on Twitter, I think the concept of the check mark was a good one, but it's no big whoop. Brian says, I've never understood the furor over this either way. I've never had a check mark on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or any other platform, so why is it so important on Twitter? Yeah, I agree. Rich says, I mean, Twitter is not perfect, but it was a very good source of news and information, and thinking if that's what you wanted to use it for, but it seems Elon Musk is quickly destroying it. Yeah, the Elon Musk love has kind of, I don't want to say disintegrated, but it's certainly depressed from its probably highs of a few years ago. And when you blow up rockets, experimental or whatever you want to call it, probably not the best look for someone who wants to go to the Mars. And Brian Fraley, I'll put his last name on there, friend of the show, the whining is pathetic. Yeah, that's what it is, whining. You know what? If you want it, pay the $8. One of the cool things, and this is, I'm not going to do this, but I think one of the features that you get when you pay the $8 is you can edit your tweets, which you couldn't do before. That's a real life usable benefits to paying the $8. Now, if it was associated with verification of name and, for lack of a better term, title, that you are who you say you are, just pick a random one, a reporter for a major network. If it would affirm that with a blue check and the $8, I'm all good with that. Again, I'm not going to pay it. Don't want to. I try to minimize what I have to pay each month. Every way possible. I lower. I'm driving my wife, Kathy, nuts with this stuff. But that's the way I look at it. I don't want to pay $8 for something that I don't need. That's it. If you want to vote and you're not on Twitter, which is probably a smart thing if you don't need to be, you can vote on the old National Bank talk and text line. Anything to worry about or do you care about? The answer should be no, because it's dumb. Doesn't mean there's not some good arguments being made about verifying people. I've said this for a long time. We should not have anonymous users on social media. I could care less what your reason is. We should not have anonymous users on social media. It's led to chaos. It's led to a story I'm going to read after the break. Right here in good old Wisconsin, and maybe where you are, I know Montana's looking at this, saying to young people, no, you're not getting on social media. Could it happen here in Wisconsin? We'll tell you about that after this on WTMJ.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. Stay in touch. You can reach us on the Old National Bank talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Old National Bank. Get old.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Educators Credit Union. I'm a brand new member. Joined last year. Love Educators. We know that being a parent can be busy. Mind and Money, that's the program. Educators Credit Union provides an easy way for parents to pay allowance, assign chores, and teach financial lessons, all from their phones or computer, and get this, with no monthly fees. Children and teens can even receive their own debit card, and parents can set limits and track their spending. It's a win-win and just another great perk of being a member of Educators Credit Union. And oh, by the way, my principal sponsor of Salute the Service this year. So thank you, Educators Credit Union. Go find out for yourself. Learn more at ecu.com, insured by NCUA.
What's the opposite of flashy?
Understated, unpretentious.
And Drew. You mean the Drew Bedroom Collection from Penny Mustard.
Straightforward and simple.
But what the Drew lacks in flash, it more than makes up for in durability. What are some other words to describe the Drew bedroom?
Let me check a thesaurus. Uncomplicated, plain, and...
What?
There's a picture of you in here.
Yeah, that's about right. The Drew Bedroom Collection, starting at $50.82 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Who's hungry? Mark your calendar for April 22nd through the 30th for Lake Geneva Restaurant Week. This culinary adventure features dozens of the area's finest restaurants with exclusive menus and special pricing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right now, get unbeatable deals on a variety of outdoor essentials, like Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It prevents crabgrass, kills weeds, and feeds your lawn all in one bag. Right now, Triple Action is on sale for $86.99 with up to 12,000 square feet of coverage. Plus, Blaine's Rewards members get a free $15 Farm and Fleet gift card with $100 spent on Scott's products. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
This Is that Blink 182? I thought it was. I remember my daughter Katie telling me that was one of her favorite bands. And that's the only reason I know that band, because I'm not really a follower of Blink 182. But welcome to the Friday show. Hope you're doing great. Thanks for tuning in. I know you got a lot of listening choices, podcasts. Well, we have podcasts too. Every show, every big segment, including If Steve Ruled the World, and special interviews, all available on our podcast page, wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, the like. Now we stream, so welcome to all the folks who are watching and listening. It's like the full product now. We told you at some point we will get to this nirvana of broadcasting where we can do it all, and we're almost there. Brandon and I were talking during the break. Got a new logo coming out. Apparently going to be slapped on a billboard near American Family Field. So we got to be very careful what we put on that thing. And yes, it will be red, white, and blue if I have my way. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Red, white, and blue. But we got a wide variety of choices. You know who's probably going to decide this, producer Brandon? My wife, Kathy. I'm going to send them to her and see what she says.
She'll pick the one we picked, I think.
We both
have
picked the
good
same
taste.
one. Yeah. It was a combination of the show, my face, which is a tough sell, let's be honest, and then the red, white, and blue motif, I think is.
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. They did a great job.
So if you were driving down the freeway, going west on 94 or going east on 94, and you saw that would make you think twice. Oh, that's what he's doing.
They should already be listening. So
Well, they should.
know.
Yeah, they should. But, we know people make bad decisions in life.
Be smarter.
Listen better, be smarter.
There you go. I knew there was another part to that.
You almost had it. See, you're so busy in the morning show now with all your sports stuff.
Well, we're on video. I'm doing three things at once.
You are doing more stuff. It's like, we all this new technology. Let's have the producers do more things.
We still love it.
Answer phone calls. Yeah, and you're doing a great job. Thank you, producer Brandon. All right. So I mentioned this. We're talking about Twitter, the whole blue check controversy. It's not a controversy, folks. Get over yourself. You're not that important. Remember when I yelled at Vincent Vetrano from State Fair that one day? He was blabbering about golf or something, and I don't know what he was talking about. I said, you're not that important. I had to jump on the mic even before it was my time. All right, so here's the headline. Got it from Wisconsin Public Radio, WPR, or NPR, and WPR as they're known. And, there's a healthy rivalry. It's not like I can't talk about it because it's on a different network or a different station. That's dumb. Here's the headline. Wisconsin kids could see a curfew for social media use under proposed legislation. The proposal could give parents full control over their kids' accounts and impose a social media curfew. Think about that for a second. What have we been talking about? Social media, taking over kids' lives. Increased depression, increased teen suicide, more bullying, not less. Well, a new bill sponsored by Representative David Steffen, Republican from Green Bay, says he'll sponsor a bill that will give parents full control over their kids' social media and impose a curfew for social media users under 18. Not knowing the details of this, I'll get to some of them, but not in depth. Where do I sign? This is a time where people have to start listening. And I know we like to listen to our teens, and that's a good thing. Conversations are important. Communication is vital, all that. But sometimes you got to be a parent, and you got to say no. And if we have teens who are locked into social media where they're to the exclusion of everything else, like their education, normal family relations, improving their communication skills because they're not doing that, they're just typing on a smartphone. Steffen says that it's an effort to address mental health concerns for things like Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. Adds the piece about bullying, harassment, trafficking. We know that some kids are connected to traffickers through social media. The person they think they're talking to is not really the person that they are talking to. And then those meetings sometimes become dangerous, and in some extreme cases, deadly. So this legislation is modeled on a first-of-its-kind law signed last month in Utah. According to Steffen, the law is set to take effect of March of next year. There will be legal challenges because that's what we do. We are a country of complainers and challengers. There will be lawyers. So according to the brief, it would require age verification for every new account created after January. Give parents full access to their kids' accounts. And this is something that he brought up, I think, as early as 2019. So he was already on the radar then. This stuff's important. It's really important when you're talking about the health and safety of our kids. 855-616-1620, the Old National Bank talking text line. Just curious. Curfews, restrictions on social media. And if you're asking about the details of the curfew, listen through the break. I'll tell you what they are after this on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. The Brewers Radio Network's Lane Grindle sees it all from the broadcast booth.
At the warning track, at the wall, it'll fly!
But what's he like off the air?
It's 2023. It's the year of the cheesehead.
Lane Grindle joins Wisconsin's Afternoon News every week during the Brewers 2023 campaign.
You know, Lane, I've often said in casual conversation, there'd be nothing better in my life than to be the brother of Lane Grindle.
I did not have a brother, so, you know, John, I mean, we can make honorary brothers.
Right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hey, this is Steve Scaffidi for Badger Fence. If you listen to the show, you've heard me talk about the beautiful new cedar fence I have installed in my home. Well, the company I trusted with that job is Badger Fence. They've been installing high-quality, durable fences in the Metro Milwaukee area since 1945. Proud member of the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating, as well as a member of the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. If privacy, security, and a wide choice of fence styles are top of mind when choosing a fence for your property, then Badger Fence is the right company. Licensed, bond, insured. They use the best materials, finest materials in the industry with more than 75 years of experience. Badger Fence knows that premium fence materials, design options, and affordability all play an important role in your satisfaction with your fencing project. So whether you want wood, ornamental, chain link, or even PVC, they can choose the right materials for you for your fencing project. When it comes to quality, they are unmatched in the industry and at the most competitive prices. We love our new wood fence. When my wife Kathy and I were shopping around for fence companies, we found the right match with Badger Fence. To set up an appointment to talk with Badger Fence about your project, go to badgerfence.com. Tell them Steve from WTMJ sent you.
It's the Commercial Real Estate Minute, presented by CarW.com.
Investing in real estate is less science than it is art, especially in today's financing environment. With rising interest rates, changing debt requirements, and increasing volatility in the market, commercial real estate is still one of the most stable, long-term hedges against inflation. But getting the deal done now requires more creativity than ever, especially in sourcing capital where there are sensitivities to time. Traditional and non-traditional financing from national, regional, and local sources may not be adequate, and private funding may not be an option. Your lending and brokerage partners will help you evaluate your asset and explore all avenues for financing, including CMBS or mezzanine structures that diversify your offer and strengthen your deal. Knowledge and expertise, just like financing, comes from multiple sources. Leverage your commercial real estate partners now to secure your investment in the future.
For more commercial real estate market insights, visit CarW.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
One of the ideas for social media restrictions for kids is to have a curfew from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Let them sleep. We know, and parents tell me this all the time when I'm out and about, that they have kids who take their phones to bed, stay up all night long, which means they're not getting the sleep they need, and we know those brains are growing and developing, and at some point that has long-term devastating impacts on their intelligence and their education, and in some cases their mental health. And I think it's encouraging. I know somebody asked on the text line, the Old National Bank Talking text line, why do we need legislation for this? Well, because it's not being done currently. Parents aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Why do you have legislation for anything? Because somebody's not following the rules. It makes us dangerous. Otherwise, we wouldn't have laws if everybody just did the right thing. Well, we know that's not the case. Look, I love social media to a degree. I'm not all in like some people. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on Snapchat. I barely use Instagram. I use Facebook about once a week, and I use Twitter a lot. That's my identity. And you can find me at WTMJ Steve if you want to see what I post. If you were to ask me, is this a good thing? I would say absolutely. Let's start here. Let's start with some common sense restrictions on young people. If you're under 18, there has to be some sort of verification system that the parents are involved in. And yes, save the text. I know that there's ways to cheat anything. That's why hackers are all over the place and in a constant imposition on our lives. I'm doing a segment next week on all the ways that we're subverted by hackers and folks trying to take advantage of us on the phone and texts, email scams, all of that stuff. It's not going down, it's going up, even though despite our best intentions. But that doesn't mean we don't try. From the old National Bank talk and text line, 262, I think social media is the worst thing to happen to children in the last 20 years, but still overreach. Interesting. Jim from Fond du Lac. Age verification upon creation of the account. Explain how that works. How do you prevent somebody from lying about their age when creating this anonymous account? It's a great question. There's not a lot of detail in the bill at this point on how that works. Perhaps there is some technology that can improve in how that system would work. But as we often say, the devil's in the details. From the 920. Hi, Steve. I think that curfews on social media are desperately needed. I work with teenagers, and these kids come in exhausted because they've been up all night on social media. And the anxiety and depression because they've been left out is rampant. I've seen so many kids 11 through 18 years of age with significant mental health issues. Something needs to be done. I agree. All right. Before we get to news with Connie here, we need 2 callers for virtual baseball sponsored by Siding Unlimited. 2 callers to 855-616-1620. Prizes, fun, baseball, the virtual kind, great clips. That's all coming up. 2 callers, 855-616-1620. Get in early because the lines fill up. We'll go with callers 3 and 5 to 855-616-1620. Our news time is 10:31 from our Breaking News Center. Connie Weber.
Thanks, Steve. No criminal charges will be filed against the law enforcement officers involved in the deadly shooting of an armed man who ran from them in the town of Paris, January 16th. Police say Hunter Hansen refused multiple commands to drop his weapon and was eventually shot, died at the scene. Man accused of shooting and killing a 36-year-old woman last week, now in Racine police custody. Alejandro Sierra surrendered to police, approached an officer conducting a traffic stop, and turned himself in. Sierra is charged with homicide in the April 15th shooting death of Alexis Fisher. U.S. is setting a record pace for mass killings this year. In the last week, 4 people fatally shot at that Sweet 16 party in Alabama, and a man shot and killed another 4 people in Maine. The carnage has taken 88 lives in 17 mass killings over 111 days. Montana's House Speaker refusing to allow a transgender lawmaker to speak on bills for the rest of the session until she apologizes for saying lawmakers would have blood on their hands if they supported a bill to ban gender-affirming medical care for transgender youth. Speaker says he wouldn't recognize any representative that he doesn't feel can maintain decorum. Time for news now about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is down 46 points, the S&P 500 down almost 5, and the NASDAQ Composite is off 12. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Taking a look now at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Looks okay right now. 94 inbound from Highway 16 to the Zoo, about a 10-minute drive. The Zoo to downtown, about half that time. And 41 northbound from the Zoo to Highway Q, a 14-minute commute. 41-45 southbound from Highway Q to the Zoo Interchange, 13. 43 inbound from Brown Deer Road to the Marquette Interchange, 10. And 94 from Layton Avenue to the Marquette Interchange, running about 6 this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living.
Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options at our May 10th open house. To RSVP or to schedule a tour, visit harwoodplace.org.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, partly cloudy and breezy today with a high 61. Breezy tonight with a low of 38, lakefront 32 inland. A wintry mix possible tomorrow, breezy with a high of 49. Partly sunny Sunday with a high 48. Slight chance for a shower Monday and Tuesday. Monday's high 52, Tuesday's high 51. Right now in Appleton, we're at 49 degrees, Milwaukee 51. I'm Connie Weber, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 1033.
Let's take a minute of R&R. R&R Insurance, that is. R&R Insurance does a great job of providing employee benefits to all of us
Were those
here at
levels
Good Karma
better?
Brands. Business insurance seems to be getting more complex these days, though. To share some knowledge about this topic and its impact on business, here is Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Yeah, Vince, let me tell you what headwinds commercial insurance buyers are facing today. Catastrophic storms in the Midwest and South are destroying the earnings of insurance companies and driving premiums higher. Inflation, higher costs of capital, and economic uncertainty. If your agent's not discussing these important risk management topics and options with you, you're putting your business in jeopardy.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As the knowledge brokers, we bring deep industry knowledge and 48 years of local ownership and stability to today's market. As a business insurance top 100 agency, R&R Insurance is focused on you, the client, and protecting everything you've worked so hard for. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
It will be an evening of nonstop laughter with the Latin Kings of Comedy, featuring Paul Rodriguez.
The only good thing about getting old is that now I can sit and watch television, and I know what all those pharmaceuticals are for.
For one night only, Friday, May 5th, 8 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
If you're going to get married, guys, go home and see her mother. Get a good look at the future. And you ladies go see his father. Find out where that belt is going to be.
Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. It's the Latin Kings of Comedy, featuring Paul Rodriguez. Friday, May 5th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Must be 21 to attend show.
Some people refer to her as the coal miner's daughter. To us, she'll be remembered as Always Loretta. An evening with Emily Portman as Always Loretta. Saturday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now and available through Ticketmaster and the Casino Gift Shop. Always Loretta, a Loretta Lynn tribute show. April 22nd at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Must be 21 to attend concert and enter the casino floor.
The grass is cut, the hot dogs are hot, and the beer is ice cold.
Right and deep. Oh, baby, get up!
It's time for virtual baseball on the Steve Scaffidi Show. Brought to you by Siding Unlimited.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Virtual Baseball. Of course, sponsored by Siding Unlimited, our proud sponsors, great partners here with WTMJ. Let's meet our challengers, our contestants, our teams today. Representing the home team, Daryl is calling from Sussex. Hi, Daryl.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. So tell me in 30 seconds or less about Daryl from Sussex. What do we need to know?
I'm a school bus driver off for the day. Beautiful day out here in Sussex.
That's good.
That's about it.
That's a noble profession, my friend. That's thanks for doing that. Those kids need great drivers, and you sound like you're going to be one of those. So Daryl from Sussex, our home team, he will bat second. Let's meet Bradford from McGuanago. He is our away team. Hi, Bradford.
Hi.
Same question. Tell me about Bradford from McGuanago.
I'm a photographer and a desktop engineer.
Really? What kind of photography?
Just about anything. Senior portraits, weddings, family portraits, sports. Work with Conley Publishing and Waukesha Freeman.
Oh, yeah. So let me ask you this. Were you a photographer when we still had film or just digital?
Yes.
Man, that's got to be.
Yes, I was.
That's got to be a lifesaver, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? You can do a lot more with regular film, too. So.
Yeah. But, I mean, just that technology change has got to be incredible. Because now, I just heard someone talking about this the other day. You can see the pictures as you take them, and you can, decide if you got the right shot or not. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Our producer, Brandon, our big-time sports guy, and the producer for the Virtual Baseball, sponsored by Siding Limited segment, will run you through the ground rules as we meet at home plates. Go ahead, Brandon.
All right, gentlemen, welcome into the Virtual Baseball on here on the Steve Scaffidi Show. Each player, each one of you gets a separate set of 10 highlights. Each set includes an equal number of hits and outs. They are each numbered 1 through 10. You get 5 selections. So Bradford and Daryl, you each get 5 choices, either 1 through 10. After 5 swings, we only record the hit in the highlight, not the runs scored in the highlight. After 5 swings, the number of runs tallied up becomes your final score. Now, if there is a tie, we are 2 for 2 with ties so far since we threw out the virtual baseball here. If there is a tie, the home team will try to walk it off. The first caller is always selected as the home team. In this case, Daryl, you are the home team, and Bradford, you are the away team.
All right, let's get started. So, Bradford, you're going to be first up. You heard producer Brandon run through those ground rules. 5 choices out of 10 possible opportunities to score some runs. The goal, of course, is to score the most runs in your 5 at-bats. What's your first choice?
I'll go with number 4.
Number 4, we have Christian Yelich.
The pitch, line drive, left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit for Christian Yelich. So Yelich 3 for his last 3, dating back to last night's game.
All right, he got hot, Christian Yelich. Good start. Single man on first. Second at bat, what's your choice? Whoa.
Dating back to last night's game. All right, he got hot.
All right, turn your radio down. Turn your radio. There we go. Okay, Bradford, choice number 2.
All right, I'm going to go with number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6, we have Owen Miller.
Miller, ground ball towards the middle. Swanson fields, throws after a spin. No pick from Hosmer.
Oh.
Should be a base hit for Owen Miller.
All right, 2 runners on. Now you get to the run scoring part of this. You got to get some base hits, triples, doubles, home runs to get those runs in. Bradford, third choice.
I'm going to go with lucky number 2.
Number 2, we have Bryce Terrain.
Murphy to Terang, swinging a high fly deep into right field. Hernandez is back onto the warning track, onto the wall. See you later.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Pinch
big.
hit home run.
Bradford.
Bryce Terang on the
3-run
very
shot.
first pitch.
3-run shot there for Bradford. He's up 3-zip on Daryl. All right, Bradford, 2 more at bats. You can still get some more runs in. Got to get busy. Fourth pick.
All right. Let's see. Let's go with number 9.
Number 9, we have Willie Adames.
This one to left center and deep. Get up! Get up!
Put it. Oh!
What a call.
Bradford he's not wasting any time. Bradford, 4 runs in.
Home run by Adames.
Willie Adames. All right, so very well done. You got 1 more at bats. You're probably not going to score a run on it, but let's see what happens.
Let's go with number 10.
Number 10 is Christian Yelich.
Big Ribby out there if he can get him home to pitch. Yelich bouncer hit to first. Alonso's got that one, and with Scherzer covering, the inning is over.
All right, so nothing to be ashamed of there. 4 runs across the plates.
Not bad.
The most you can get is 5, so that's very well done by Bradford. Let's see what Daryl's got up his sleeve. If he can counter that offensive firepower that Bradford put up. Daryl from Sussex, what's your first pick?
Let's go with 3.
Number 3 is Rowdy Tellez.
Palate kicks and brings home the pitch, and Tellez a drive out to left center field. O'Neill racing back. It's over his head. It'll roll all the way to the wall. Winker trots home. Adames around third. He will score. It's a 2-run double for Tellez.
Oh, yeah, good start. Daryl, runner
Brewers
at
have
second
broke the
base,
game
in
open.
scoring
It's 6-1
position. Still
Crew.
4 at bats. Still time to get this done. What's your second choice?
5.
Number 5 is Willie Adames.
Gilbert bringing home the pitch, and this is hit high and deep to right field. Back on it is Hernandez at the track. Tie ball game. Adames with his 4th of the season.
All right, we're not
and
tied.
it's 4-all here in Seattle.
We're getting there.
Yeah, it's not 4-all, but it's 4-2, and you're getting it done in your 2 at-bats. 2 runs on the board, still 3 at-bats. You could still win this, Daryl. What's your third pick?
7.
Number 7 is Brian Anderson.
2-2 to Anderson. Strike 3 called.
Oh, he won't do it that way.
Cutter right at the knees.
Quick out there.
That was quick. All right, Daryl, here's your challenge. You have to score 2 more runs to get in a tie situation. Then we go to the all-important tiebreaker. So 2 runs needed, 2 at-bats left, 2 choices. What's your first one of the final 2?
6.
Number 6 is Christian Yelich.
Christian Yelich, first pitch swinging. It's a drive to center. O'Neill is back at the track. It is gone.
Oh, that might just be window dressing. So 3 runs in.
Here we go.
Let's see what happens on your 5th and final at bat. Home team, Daryl, what you got?
9.
Number 9 is Brian Anderson.
2-2, nobody out. Mitchell on deck, the pitch. Swinging and a miss. He's slowed up on the curveball.
He went out
Anderson
swinging. All right, Daryl, thanks for playing Virtual Ball Baseball, sponsored by Signing Unlimited. You were right there, 4-3. You lost.
Good job, Daryl.
Yeah. Let's.
Thank you very much. Nice win.
All right, Bradford, you are winner of Virtual
Thank
Baseball. A 4-run butt whipping, 2 home runs, 2 singles, getting it done on this Friday edition of Virtual Baseball. All right, Daryl, or Bradford, rather. I'm getting the names mixed up. Bradford, rather, from the beautiful city of Maguanago. Great job. Enjoy this little walkout music as you celebrate your victory in Virtual Baseball. Sponsored by the great folks at Siding Unlimited.
It's way by us again. Right in front. Excuse me a second. Okay. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You hit your head on the ceiling. I got up too quick. The spring in this chair has got to be readjusted.
Kessler's is America's largest employee-owned diamond store.
It's the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
As shoppers, we want better prices and more choices.
That's why we give you better prices and more choices.
We don't try to choose for you. We let you choose.
You can choose a diamond from a diamond mine.
A diamond as old as the earth itself.
You can choose a created diamond from a plasma chamber.
A diamond as new and fresh and sparkling as springtime.
And now you can choose a flickering firelight diamond.
Flickering firelight diamonds sparkle with a rich and regal golden glow.
At Kessler's, you choose from 3 different kinds of diamonds.
3 different kinds of diamonds.
Earth diamonds from diamond mines.
Created diamonds from plasma chambers.
And flickering firelight diamonds with a rich, regal golden glow.
We like to have choices, so we give you choices.
Kessler's is the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
I want to talk about annuities and variable life insurance policies. And I'm going to come right out and say that I've never been a fan of either. In fact, in over 30 years, I have rarely recommended annuities to clients. And in that same time, I've never recommended a variable life insurance policy. Now, it's always a matter of opinion, and there are 2 sides to every story. I just want to make sure that you've heard both sides for both options. So if you're looking at those types of products, give us a call, because it's prudent to hear all sides. At the very least, we can give you the pros and cons and help you make a good decision. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Streamline how you hire with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg Offices. One call, that's all.
Who's hungry? Mark your calendar for April 22nd through the 30th for Lake Geneva Restaurant Week. This culinary adventure features dozens of the area's finest restaurants with exclusive menus and special pricing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. From casual cafes to elegant fine dining, the choices are endless as we celebrate Lake Geneva's amazing dining scene. Check out participating restaurants, menus, and all the tasty details at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for distinctive dining.
You are a guaranteed winner with Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for your home's beauty and defense. Siding Unlimited is siding, of course, but so much more. Windows, roofing, decks. Siding Unlimited is recognized as the MVP in all those areas by customers and suppliers alike. You want major league work done on your house, so start by contacting Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Always fun to play some baseball on a Friday. We do it every Friday, 10:35. Virtual baseball sponsored by the great folks at Siding Unlimited. Bradford, our big winner. Last week, you couldn't score runs. But today, like home runs going out of American Family Field like crazy. You never know what's going to happen in virtual baseball. That's why we do it every Friday. All right, so going back to my conversation before virtual baseball, we were talking a little bit about social media, potential restrictions that some lawmakers in Wisconsin are trying to get back to. These things have been proposed for many years. And matter of fact, the story that I was reading from, I think was cited in 2019, or might have been earlier than that, maybe 2015, on some of the things that were proposed. It's getting some rumblings of attention back in the state legislature in Wisconsin and in about 5 other states. So somebody mentioned about the security piece, the verification piece. So Mike from Heartland offered this info, and I wasn't aware of this because I'm not involved in Facebook Marketplace. But Mike says the way that Facebook does it is with Marketplace, you have to take a photo ID or driver's license with your birth date on it and send it in. Then they will verify and okay or deny the account. I wonder if people they struggle with that because, I mean, I have a family member who's dealing with a identity theft issue, which is serious identity theft. Person going around the country using their Social Security number, a fake driver's license with all the real pieces of information except the pictures matching the fraudster in this case. Real stuff. I wonder if Facebook has issues with that because that seems like a big handouts, right? You're giving them access. And we can all talk about how safe these things are, but boy, in the age of identity theft and scams, I don't know if I would do that. But it's very popular. From the Old National Bank talk and text line 414, I don't get it. Just take the phone away when they go to bed. Duh. You know, that seems like the easy way, right? But like everything else in our society, everything else in our culture, in our country, it's not that easy. And sometimes you need a little nudge. For example, it has nothing to do with social media or depression. But we've had laws in this country about seatbelts for a long time. Now, I know personally people that hate the rule. I know people personally that don't put seatbelts on still, even though their car drives them nuts if you don't. But we do that for a reason because science, research, safety data suggests that when you're wearing a seatbelt, you're safer when you're in an accident. But here's the funny thing about America, and maybe it's not so funny, 2023, just saying that, I can literally guarantee I will get texts that say, you can't tell me what to do. I don't want to wear a seatbelt. Or, that's what they say, but is it true? Government can say anything. That's the crazy part of any conversation that uses data now. Data and metrics used to be the gold standard, but now everything can be interpreted. Why do I say that? Because people that work in the federal government, people that work in Wisconsin, just because you have a government job doesn't mean you don't have a political agenda. Left, right, doesn't matter. It doesn't go away. And there are people who use that bias, political bias, in their interpretation of data. That's why even with that aspect of the story, using the data, using the real hard numbers, you're not guaranteed you're getting the facts. Pick a subject, pick a conversation, pick a hot topic of any import in this country. Any show in about 5 minutes could put an expert on one side and an expert on the other side, both highly credentialed, degrees piled up on their, I shouldn't say piled up, degrees all hanging on their walls, who will say the exact opposite of each other. Why is that? Because they have biases built into them. And certainly in the age of politics as sports, those biases often interpret their interpretation of data. Bottom line for me is, if somebody says to me, we've got a problem with kids in social media, it is appropriate for legislators to look at it, to try to dig into what the problem is. And especially if we have kids who are being bullied, who are being trafficked, or in some cases used as sexual targets, or in some cases killed. Absolutely. That's responsible government. And you can complain all you want about government overreach. If parents aren't doing it, somebody else has to. Quick break.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. Start planning for your retirement today so you enjoy retirement tomorrow. Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 7, where Tony Drake and his Education First team discuss retirement trends, taxes, inflation, and Social Security benefits to help you achieve a more secure financial future.
Join us this week as we talk about regional bank failures and rising interest rates and how you can protect yourself in your retirement nest egg.
Retirement Ready with Tony Drake on WTMJ.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Brian D. Summer. It is right around the corner. You know what that means. Graduations, weddings, all of the fun events that come along with the sunshine. Make sure you have your best smile on display when you're out and about. And for all the photos you're going to be taking, go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care. Whether it's a regular routine cleaning, a simple exam, a more complex procedure, a teeth whitening, Dr. Michaels and the team at Oconomowoc Dental Care are the best. They're going to make you as comfortable as possible while you're in the chair and give both you and your family an amazing smile. How do I know? He's my dentist. He takes care of me just like he's going to take great care of you. At Oconomowoc Dental Care, affordable quality dentistry is no longer a dream. It is the reality. Dr. Michaels' fantastic staff can help you out with a no-interest payment plan. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands. Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station. Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show.
I am learning so much about Facebook Marketplace, probably more than I want to know. You only have to, just from the 616, thanks for the long distance listen, by the way. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. You only have to do the Facebook Marketplace verification if you are receiving or sending payments directly through Marketplace. Good to know. Diane says, since we won't save children from gun deaths, at the very least, we can save their emotional and psychological well-being. It's the very least we can do as responsible adults. That's kind of my take. I'm kind of sick and tired of the let's let the parents handle it, because parents aren't handling it. And if there's things we can do as a culture that says, you know what, maybe it's not a good thing that kids are worried about making TikTok videos at 3 o'clock in the morning from their bedrooms. I don't know, if they're 10 years old, 12 years old, 14 years old, maybe that's not a good thing. And as I said to somebody earlier, maybe a cold, hard slap in the face is necessary to wake people up, snap out of it, whatever terminology you want to use. This is something we should think about. And whether this goes forward to the Wisconsin State Legislature, it's moving forward in several states, including Montana and others. So I guess more information to be determined, but this one's not going away, folks. As long as we see problems with depression and violence and bullying, it is appropriate, in my opinion, to look at all of these things. Real quick, we'll get to that one a little bit later because there's nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But after the break for news with Connie Weber, kind of a fun one today. If Steve ruled the world, the Bucks edition, 2023 Bucks edition. Lots to talk about, lots of funny little clips to play, all tongue-in-cheek, all just for you on this Friday edition right here in WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially during our great outdoor event. Right now, get unbeatable deals on a variety of outdoor essentials, like $70 off a Lifetime Tamarack Pro sit-on-top kayak. Rewards members save an extra $20. Assorted Raider Power Sport helmets and accessories, 10% off. And all Cooper tires are on sale, with up to $75 in consumer rebates and an extra $50 instant savings when you buy 4. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
We're Ted and Pam, owners of Church and Chapel Funeral Homes here in town.
Our family, serving your family.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
The highly successful Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford is hiring an experienced bar manager with income upwards of $60,000 a year with tips and always busy. Nights, weekends, and holidays, but the schedule has flexibility. Tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week.
Social Security benefits denied? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to taybackattorneys.com.
We're going to make the curse of the Bambino come back to haunt you.
Bounced into the hole at second base, fielded by Terang in shallow right. Spins and throws to first. Oh, what a dandy of a play by the Brewers' second baseman.
The Brewers are back at home to take on the Red Sox with coverage starting tonight at 6 on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
11 o'clock, we have 51 degrees, partly cloudy and breezy today with a high 61. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber.
Today we made history for our children and children of generation.
Community activist groups celebrating after the Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission voted on new rules regarding the release of police body cam footage. TMJ4's Simone Woolridge has
Here's
more.
how it will work. MPD will be required to release video footage to the public within 15 days of an officer-involved death or other critical incidents. Those video sources include body camera footage, dash cam, 911 recordings, and more. They will also be required to notify and allow families of those involved to view the footage within 48 hours of releasing the video to the community. Supporters say they are hoping this new policy will create more transparency between the community and the police department.
But the head of the union representing Milwaukee police officers says he still has concerns that police being forced to release body cam footage before they deem themselves ready could hamper an investigation and put officers at risk. Andrew Wagner telling our news partners at TMJ4.
A 48-hour window to show families doesn't respect the rights of the officers. The officers under Marcy's law also have to be considered into this.
Milwaukee, the latest large city to put official rules on the books. Washington, D.C. requires 5 days to release video. Cleveland, 7. New York City, 30. And Chicago, 60 days. Demonstrations continue outside the Supreme Court today as the timeline for the justices to release their decision over the case of the abortion pill mifepristone reaches its midnight deadline. Mark Lee Dixon, director with Right to Life of East Texas, joined those demonstrators.
The Supreme Court has a great opportunity before them.
The court could allow new restrictions on the drug to go into effect even in states where abortions are still legal, kick the case back down to a lower court, or even take up the case themselves. Another poll gives Donald Trump a strong lead over likely GOP presidential contender Ron DeSantis. A new Wall Street Journal poll shows the former president with 51% support from likely Republican voters and the Florida governor at 38% support. Other GOP candidates trail far behind, including former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley with 5% support and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott with 3%. Charges against actor Alec Baldwin for the on-set shooting death of a cinematographer on the set of the movie Rust have been dropped. ABC's Matt Gutman with
more. The New
more.
York Times reports evidence showing the gun that Baldwin rehearsed with had been modified before arriving on set. That would affect the prosecution's original argument that Baldwin had to have pulled the trigger in order for the gun to fire. Baldwin's attorney saying in a statement, "We are pleased with the decision to dismiss the case against Alec Baldwin, and we encourage a proper investigation into the facts and circumstances of this tragic accident."
Baldwin had been charged with involuntary manslaughter in the death of Helena Hutchins. The percentage of women working in trades is low, below 5% in Wisconsin, and childcare costs are a big factor driving women away. Sumit Mason, Kyla Engelke tells TMJ4 News none of this is surprising.
Knowing what it takes physically and knowing what it takes as far as the logistics of being a parent in the industry, it doesn't surprise me that it's taking, a long time for our percentage as far as women in the industry to grow.
She's helping run a pilot program in Milwaukee, providing childcare subsidies to women who want to take up a trade. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk, heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding and Limited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel. Our travel advisors can help you travel anywhere in the world. Whether you're looking for a group tour or prefer to customize your own unique experience, we have the expertise to craft your next extraordinary journey, including some amazing options from our partners, Delta Vacations, Holland America Line, and Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, just to name a few. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. There are memories to be made this summer, and Fox will get you there.
Hey, Eric Bilstead with WTMJ's Wisconsin's Morning News for J.D. Griffiths. For more than 70 years, J.D. Griffiths has been Milwaukee's premier provider and builder of garage doors. And my wife and I are now proud owners of 2 new garage doors installed by J.D. Griffiths' crew. They came in a couple of weeks ago and did it in a half a day. I could not tell you how easy it was. We first went to jdgriffiths.com. We set ourselves up for a free at-home estimate. Ken came over, took a look around, gave us some ideas, and off we were. It just took a couple of weeks to get it installed, and we could not be happier. It pops. I'm telling you, the neighbors notice. I hear about them all the time. It makes our house look so much sharper with those brand new garage doors from J.D. Griffiths. So go to jdgriffiths.com, set yourselves up for a free at-home estimate. And J.D. Griffiths doesn't just do new garage doors. They also offer affordable servicing of existing garage doors and also even build new detached garage doors as well. J.D. Griffiths and jdgriffiths.com.
Sports
Tied
update.
at a game apiece, the Bucks and Heat opening round in the Eastern Conference Playoff Series now moves to South Beach for Games 3 and 4. Game 3 will be played on Saturday night with a tip time of 6:30. Giannis will travel with the team, but it is still unclear if he will play. Over to baseball, where the Milwaukee Brewers will look to extend their 4-game winning streak as they welcome in Boston tonight to begin a 9-game homestand at American Family Field. The 14-5 Brewers will roll out with Freddie Peralta as their starter. That first pitch is scheduled for 7:10. You can tune in right here on WTMJ beginning at 6:35. And finally, the Oakland A's could become the Las Vegas A's. The organization has signed a binding agreement to purchase land near the Las Vegas Strip where they intend to construct a new major league ballpark. The hope there is to break ground on a new stadium next year as the A's could move in as early as 2027. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Take a look now at your roads with your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. 94 inbound from Highway 16 to the Zoo, still about 10 minutes. The Zoo to downtown about 6. 41 northbound from the Zoo to Highway Q14 at about the same time, taking about the same time if you go southbound. 43 inbound from Brown Deer Road to the Marquette Interchange at 11-minute drive, and 94 inbound from Layton Avenue to the Marquette Interchange running about 6 this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Built Right Furniture, Leather and Mattresses.
For affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses, you've got to get to Built Right today. Built Right Furniture saves you money. 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, partly cloudy and breezy today, 61 for the high. Cloudy and breezy overnight, 38 the low for the lakefront, 32 inland. A wintry mix possible tomorrow with a high 49, partly sunny Sunday, high 48. Slight chance for a shower Monday and Tuesday, mostly sunny Monday, high 52. Partly cloudy Tuesday, high 51. Right now, Madison at 50, Green Bay 51, and Milwaukee 51 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
breaking down the biggest stories, talking about what really matters, and bringing you the biggest forum to let your voice be heard. Now, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, here's Steve Scaffidi.
Just brewed a fresh cup of coffee, ready for this last hour of my program, and then we launch into the weekend. I got a light schedule. Hopefully your weekend is setting up nicely. So every Friday in this slot, not every Friday, but most Fridays, we do a little something called Steve Ruled the World. Although for fans of the show, you may be excited about this. I'm going to bring back, not on a weekly basis, but on a appointment basis, Friday Forum with special guests. Because I think there's some opportunity there. So we will we'll relaunch that at some point in the near future as we get ready for summer in Wisconsin. It could be fun stuff, could be serious, could be newsmakers. Hey, maybe the President of the United States. We'll see. So, as I said, every Friday, if Steve Ruled the World. So I thought, we've done serious ones. I think I did something about yards last week and got a lot of great response. And people, if you ever want to respond, remember one thing. All tongue-in-cheek. Tongue-in-cheek, which for the layman out there who don't understand that term, it's kind of an old-fashioned term. It's got a little bite to it, but it's meant to be in good humor, in a humorous way. But doesn't mean it's not going to have an edge to it. And if you're the subject of the Deliverance theme, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So I thought this week, since we have the Bucks in the opening round of the playoffs in the NBA, I thought we'd talk about that a little bit in a bunch of different ways. You'll hear some of my favorites, audio clips, and some new ones that we're bringing to you, and some time and tested ones as well. So that's all coming up now as we launch If Steve Ruled the World.
I rule the world. Imagine that. Someday, we're gonna rule the world. Realize we could rule the world.
It's Steve Ruled the World. All right, let's start with the easy one. I know we were all disappointed on Sunday night. We saw that Giannis injury. It's like, oh no, here we go. Middleton last year. And I know many of us are very excited about this run to the NBA championship that the Bucks are on. Best record in the NBA. Talented team. Great bench strength. Great defense generally. So let's not turn off the lights just yet on all of this. It wasn't, well, it sort of was when Middleton got hurt last year, but it's not over till it's over. Was it over when Assembly Speaker Robin Vos called a press conference to announce the end of the Gable investigation, the beginning of the independent counsel investigation of the Gable investigation? That's a lot of words. The answer is no. I love how everything is connected to politics. God, I wish that last one was true. But back to the Bucks. We're all more than ready to go along on this ride to the championship with this team's second one in 3 years. And hey, and maybe the Brewers can win a World Series. They're certainly playing like it. First place, baby. Hello. And the Packers, of course. Don't know what to say about the Packers. We don't even know what Aaron Rodgers is doing. They do call it Title Town, though, and they've won a few, but am I a bad fan if I think if they should have won more of them with Favre and Rodgers? Of course not. But at least Favre got to go back the year after. Rodgers, not so much. That adds up to a whole lot of sports disappointment. And like the former president, denying the reality of losing only goes so far.
You can't handle the truth.
So Steve ruled the world. So my new rule for the Bucks. Sorry about that, Brandon. I stepped on you there. If you're going to make it back to the NBA Finals, I'm going to go ahead and need you to win the NBA Finals. I know that's a big ask. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think maybe that the only thing gets us past all this political nonsense we've all had to endure for the past, 7, 8 years, is another big old parade downtown Milwaukee celebrating a championship that I get to host on WTMJ. By the way, is that too much to ask? I don't think so. Maybe Holiday has a series to remember, or series. Maybe Brooke Lopez keeps getting it done. All those blocks, all those rebounds. Giannis keeps making his free throws and those three-pointers. Coach Bud figures it out. Not just about making threes, but defense too. It could happen.
It might happen. Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt.
If Steve ruled the world. Speaking of butts.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Now when a girl walks in with an itty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Wanna pull up tough, cause you notice that butt was stuffed. Deep in the jeans she's wearing. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. Oh, baby, I wanna get whipped up and take your picture. My homeboys tried to warn me, but that butt you got makes me so on. smooth skin. You say you wanna get in my bins? Well, use me, cause you ain't that average groupie.
I can guarantee you that nobody else in Milwaukee radio was playing that song as that was playing. So, but for a Giannis injury, I do know this. If I truly ruled the world, I would make sure the Bucks come back from the injury and sweep every series the rest of the way. Well, let's be honest. Who really pays attention to the Bucks anymore than us? Giannis should win MVP every night. I was watching Joel Embiid flopping like a wet fish, dead fish last night. That doesn't make any sense. The answer is nobody. And other than the local sports talking heads, and did you ever notice the sports shows? They hardly ever talk about sports now. That's the thing now, but I really don't want to get into that because I have no understanding of how that works or why that is. But we don't need anybody's fake love and affection. We have very competitive sports teams in Wisconsin, and of course, easy access to weed. What does that mean? I talked about weed a lot this week. Right over the border in Illinois. Another 10 years or so, the taxes in Illinois will be so high, all the residents will be smoking the legal weed. Let's be honest about it. It's always been about that, hasn't it?
Oh, you should be coming on pretty soon, dude. How much do you smoke?
This will be a little demonstration of that. Listen up. That was my skull. I'm so wasted.
If Steve ruled the world.
Thank you, Spicoli. As we're talking about the playoffs, we have to talk about, remember Stephen Smith, all that controversy, complaining about our cold weather in Wisconsin this summer. And Milwaukee's new mayor sent him a gift basket. Maybe we should put some Illinois weed in that damn thing. Does Stephen A. really think he's coming to Milwaukee in June or July? It's going to be cold out? Come on. Of course, a lot of these Hollywood types don't really know where Wisconsin is on a map. If you ask them to point it out, I guarantee you they would point to somewhere in central Canada. Hudson Bay-ish. That's like me as a white guy saying I have black friends. It's just dumb. I have black friends. Love them. But saying I have black friends is lame. We all know this rule. He played the I have a Milwaukee friend card. You remember that? And now I have to call him out on it. And by the way, Stephen A. Smith is what you get when you combine Skip Bayless and Jimmy Walker from the 1970s TV show Good Times.
Hello, lucky person. You got the number right, because you are talking to Kid a Dynamite! 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 Pure dynamite! Dynamite!
That never gets old. I love that. All right. For now, those of us who've been Bucks fans for 50 years before they won a few years back, we were always asking ourselves, is this the year? Is this the year? Is this the year? Well, they got it done. Giannis, Middleton, Holiday. It seems like the pieces were all there. But watching these games, it seems like it always comes down to this question. Are they going to make their threes? Doesn't it seem silly that after all the X's and O's, it's just really about making your shots? Make your shots! You literally play a boys, kids, girls game for a ton of money. And you still have games where you miss more shots than you take. What's that about? Basketball is hard, you say. What would you rather do for a living? Basketball player or coal miner? What a car mechanic, bus driver. You think any of those jobs settle for having bad days at work? Yeah, I wanted to fix your car, but I just wasn't feeling it today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get to it and make that engine hum for you. Hey, boss, I just wasn't feeling it. I'll crawl back into that coal mine tomorrow and make you proud. Make your damn shots, especially in the playoffs. Right, Jim Mora?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
If Steve ruled the world.
That's an old one, but I love that clip. It never gets old, even though it is old. Here's a first world problem for you. It costs hundreds of dollars or more to go to an NBA playoff game. Thousands if you want to sit near the courts. Quick story about that. I'm sitting courtside Bucks game. We're on TV because, of course, they're showing the Bucks bench. We're right next to it. My wife, Kathy, her sister's watching, goes, hey, take a picture of Giannis. He's right next to you. She goes, I don't even see a Giannis. You know why that was? Because she was looking for Giannis on the jersey, not a Tentacuppo. I go, Kathy, that's Giannis. He's literally a foot away from me. She was not a big basketball fan, but you can pick him out now. So she has learned. All right, where was I? Where was I at? There we are. It costs hundreds of dollars to go to an NBA playoff game. And that's just the ticket. You probably need two. Then there's parking, $50. Food, $50. Alcohol, $100. Bucks gear, $200. Turns out cheering for your team in person is more expensive than seeing Springsteen or the Stones. And they always show up. Never an off night for Bruce Springsteen. Never.
Well, I came by your house the other day. Your mother said you went away. She said there was nothing that I could have done. There was nothing nobody could say. Now me and you, we've known each other, yeah, ever since we were 16. I wished I would have known. I wished I could have called you just to say goodbye, Bobby G.
If Steve ruled the world.
That is my all-time favorite Bruce Springsteen song, one he rarely ever plays live. All right, Bruce always makes his shots, every one of them. Now, one of the things that drives basketball fans nuts is the officiating. What's a foul? Is it a foul when a defensive player makes contact with the offensive player? What about when the defensive player jumps in front of the defensive player? Or the offensive player, rather. Like when Giannis got hurt. There's more flopping in the NBA than in a Pompeian brothel. Think about that one for a second. You'll get it. I was in Pompeii. I told you the story on the air. Figure it out. Here's an idea. How about unless the contact alters the shot in some significant way, you let it go. Still a judgment call, sure, but at least you let the players play. Here's the dirty little secret of the NBA. Great teams, great players get the calls almost all the time. Don't believe me? You want to be a legend in the NBA? Win a championship. You'll get all the calls. Probably 2 championships. Jordan, LeBron, Steph Curry, Magic. It's past time for the Bucks to start getting those calls, but they haven't won that second championship. You think Bobby Portis is getting the superstar treatment? Hell no. The unofficial mayor of Milwaukee damn near gets assaulted every game. And for all those NBA refs out there, you have a very tough job, but you're still getting a deliverance treatment.
If Steve ruled the world.
And as I often say, you're not the Burt Reynolds character. Figure it out. First name Ned, last name Beatty. And last but not least, anybody who really watches the NBA or any sports fan knows there's something really special about teams like the Bucks. Small market, no respect from the Stephen A. Smiths or many other talking heads, experts in the sports world. Well, here's your chance to do it again. Battle, fight, win the series that's in front of you. Win the championship. Save the excuses. We fans aren't patient. We want to win every year. So let's get healthy, Giannis. Flip the switch. Beat the Heat. What does Florida know about basketball anyway? They somehow managed to screw up Disney World, for Pete's sake. Thank you, Ron DeSantis, or as Trump calls him.
We're winning big, big, big in the Republican Party for the nomination like nobody's ever seen before. Let's see, there it is, Trump at 71, Ron DeSanctimonious at 10%, Mike Pence at 7%. Oh, Mike's doing better than I thought. Liz Cheney, there's no way she's at 4%. There's no way.
Oh, I love that. Never gets old. Never gets old. I could literally fill that entire. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll do a whole If Steve World with just Trump clips, dishwasher, hair, all that stuff. That is this week's If Steve Ruled the World.
Ruled the world.
I did it twice today. That's on me, not on you. Take us to break, Bruce.
Well, we busted out of class, had to get away
They say baseball's a numbers game.
I really struggled with math.
Well, let's keep it simple.
Throw me some numbers.
Start with a hot brat and a cold brew. Add Brewers baseball on WTMJ.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
And repeat the formula all season long.
Oh, baby.
We are the home of your Milwaukee Brewers. WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. For Badger Fence, I love my new fence. My wife and I, Kathy and I, were just sitting outside the other day saying we would not be outside as much if we didn't have this fence. Privacy, it looks fantastic. We decided to shop around. We looked around, and we chose Badger Fence. You should, too. They've been installing high-quality, durable fences in the Metro Milwaukee area since 1945. Proud member of the Better Business Bureau, A-plus rating, as good as it gets, as well as a member of the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. Privacy, security, wide choice of fence styles. That's why we chose Badger Fence. They're licensed, bonded, insured, 75 years of experience, folks. Badger Fence knows that premium fence materials, design options, affordability all play an important role in your decision-making. So whether you want wood, which is what we chose, ornamental, chain link, PVC, they can help you choose the right materials for your fence project. And when it comes to quality, unmatched, and at the most competitive prices, we love our new wood fence. And when we were shopping around at Badger Fence, we chose them. You can too. Set up an appointment to talk with Badger Fence about your fence project. Go to badgerfence.com. Tell them Steve from WTMJ sent you.
All Brewers games are on sale now, including a marquee weekend matchup versus the Red Sox April 21st through the 23rd. Get the one-of-a-kind Yelly Tumbler Gate giveaway on Saturday, presented by American Family Insurance. And treat your crew to Brewers family fun on Sunday with special activities for kids, including Brewers player autographs and a chance to run the bases. Get your seats now at Brewers.com.
If the only tool you have is a hammer, everything you fix looks like a nail. Same thing goes for some annuity salesmen. Need help with tax planning? Maybe you need an annuity. Recession coming? Have you tried an annuity? Retirement planning? You get the picture. Sometimes you need more than a one-tool solution. It's time for serious fee-only fiduciary planning from Annex Wealth Management. Our in-house team of experts will offer you a rigorously tested plan built just for you. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Every hour.
$1 billion investment by Microsoft is set to move forward in Racine County.
Every day.
A multi-million-dollar settlement reached after Dominion Voting Systems sued Fox News for defamation.
The news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
Common Council President Jose Perez celebrating a full council with 3 new members being sworn in.
The WTMJ Breaking News Center has you covered.
15 members present. I've been waiting a long time to say that.
Hey! News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Susan Hiller with Howard Gleason from Hiller Ford on Highway 100. Are you thinking of trading in your old car for a new one, but want to make sure you get the very best price for your trade-in?
Or maybe you would just like to sell your old car or truck and not buy a new one. Here at Hiller Ford, we want your vehicle and will pay top dollar for it, whether you trade it in or not.
Stop in to see us. You might be surprised at how much you'll pay for your car. Come in with your old car and walk out with a check. We hope to see you soon at Hiller Ford.
To be able to breathe properly when you sleep is a profound change. To be able to sleep properly is probably the most important thing you can do for your health, period. End of sentence. In order to sleep properly, you have to be able to breathe properly. If you can't breathe properly, you aren't going to sleep properly. It sounds sort of like simple and like I'm talking to a first grader, but I'm simply saying that most people don't recognize how profoundly impacted their sleep is by their breathing issues until we fix it. And so if we fix somebody's nose, we fix their sinuses, we make sure that their throat is staying open when they're sleeping at night, their body is for the first time ever breathing properly and therefore sleeping properly. And you kind of forget like, oh, this was such a big deal for me before I got it fixed.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
I'm Susan Hiller with Howard Gleason from Hiller Ford. We've got 24 2022 vehicles left on the lot, F-150s, Escapes, and more, all priced to sell fast.
With Ford financing, we're offering 0.9% financing for 66 months on all remaining 2022 F-150s and 0% financing for 66 months on remaining 2022 Escapes.
This special offer ends May 1st, so come in today and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Thanks for all the texts on Steve Rolled the World in the Bucks. That was a fun one. But then I get this from Andy on email. And you can always email me, good or bad, positive, negative, don't care. Steve.Scaffidi, 2Fs1D at WTMJ.com. Andy says simply this: please retire soon. Andy, what's with the thin skin? Dude, I'm not going anywhere.
Come on, man.
What's your deal? I'm here to stay. Let's play ball. All right. It is time for me to move aside. It's 11:30 from our Breaking News Center. Connie Weber.
Thanks, Steve. A U.S. citizen dead in Sudan as fighting in the eastern African country continues. Capital city of Khartoum under shelling as two factions led by two rival generals fight for leadership of the country. State Department announced the death yesterday but didn't give any details on the American's identity. 12 years in prison for the man who caused a crash that killed a pastor last year. Jose Silva says he was running late for jury duty when he sped through downtown Milwaukee, slamming into the car driven by Grace Lutheran pastor Aaron Strong. At the time, Silva's blood alcohol content more than twice the legal limit. Former chair of the Wisconsin Parole Commission charged with a felony, accused of using his capacity as a public official for private interests while a member of the Racine Common Council. According to the complaint, John Tate unlawfully negotiating terms of his employment for Racine's new violence interruption coordinator position while serving as an alderman. If convicted, he faces 3.5 years in prison. Environmental justice will become a central mission of every federal agency thanks to an executive order from President Biden. He'll announce new environmental justice initiatives today. Surrounded by climate and environmental justice activists, the order will also create a new Office of Environmental Justice. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow right now down 41 points, the S&P 500 down almost 3, and the NASDAQ Composite is down 4 points. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Taking a look at your roads now with your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. 94 inbound from Highway 16 to the Zoo, a 10-minute drive. The Zoo to downtown about 6. 41 northbound from the Zoo to Highway Q, and 43 inbound from Brown Deer Road to downtown 11. 94 inbound from Layton Avenue to the Marquette Interchange, running about 6 this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, partly cloudy and breezy today with a high 61, cloudy, breezy tonight, 38 for the low lakefront, 32 inland. A wintry mix possible tomorrow, maybe just a trace of accumulation with a high of 49. Partly sunny Sunday, 48 for the high, mostly sunny Monday, slight chance for a shower, high 52. Partly cloudy Tuesday, again that chance for a shower lingers with a high Tuesday of 51. Right now in Appleton, we're at 50, Milwaukee 53 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
Big-time breaking news, NFL. 4 members of the Detroit Lions suspended for gambling. Producer Brandon, big-time sports guy, and yours truly will discuss, should there be gambling in the way that the NFL and other sports leagues are approaching it, maybe the answer should be not so much after this.
Explore Milwaukee's iconic Harley-Davidson Museum this spring. The Harley-Davidson Museum campus boasts one-of-a-kind shopping with exclusive Harley gear from 2 new retail stores, an interactive experience gallery, and the Motor Bar and Restaurant. Riverfront dining with daily specials like fish fries and barbecue. And make it a point to ride over on May 4th for Bike Night, where you can stock up with up to 70% off on deals from their factory shop. The Harley-Davidson Museum, 15 years as one of Milwaukee's top tourist destinations.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially during our great outdoor event. Right now, get unbeatable deals on a variety of outdoor essentials, like $40 off a Shelter Logic 6-foot square shed in a box. Now in stock, Cub Cadet Hydro rear engine riding mowers, half gallons of Gojo Orange hand cleaner, just $6.49, and $50 instant savings on top tire brands, plus up to $75 in consumer rebates on select tires when you buy 4. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for 2, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 12.76 to 19-ounce package Bellatoria pizza, $5.99. 14-ounce ice cream or 3-count bars, Haagen-Dazs ice cream or ice cream bars, $3.99. 8.3 to 12-ounce package Frigo Cheesehead string cheese or cheese sticks, $3.99. 8-ounce chunk, 7 to 8-ounce sliced or 5.5 to 8-ounce shredded Tillamook chunk, sliced or shredded cheese, 2 for $6.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
And his face lost all expression. Said if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know.
Oh, yeah, breaking news. NFL, the Detroit Lions, 4 players suspended by the NFL for gambling. And sports guy Brandon Snyder, also my crack producer, was on this story before I saw it. What do we have here?
Yeah, so some big breaking news. It's actually 5. So I told you 4, but it's 4 Detroit Lions and 1 Washington Commanders player. So the NFL suspending 5 in total, including Lions' former first-round pick, who was a 2022 first-round pick, Jameson Williams, C.J. Moore, and Quintez Cephas. If that name sounds familiar, if you're a Badgers fan, he played at the University of Wisconsin, and then Commanders' Shaka Toney. Now, 2 of them, C.J. Moore and Quintez Cephas, have been suspended for a year, and that is because they were betting on NFL games.
Yeah, which is a no-no,
Which is a big no-no.
But you and I were chatting during the break here. We know, because look, I go to Vegas about 3 or 4 times a year, and I know that I've talked about gambling on the show. Gambling is a big partner now. It always has been with the public, but now it's professionally, there's that link with all the big leagues. Real gambling on games, and I guess I'm not surprised that players are engaging in this stuff. They're not supposed to, but they are.
And maybe this is a hot take. I don't like sports gambling. I know it's like a big thing.
You're not a gambler to begin with.
Not a gambler really at all. I'll go play at the slots. Like you said, when you go to Vegas, I do the same thing when I go to Vegas. I think sports gambling has kind of taken away from what used to be fun with the game. Now everybody's just watching to see if they're over, they're under hits, and I get it. You make money, but no, when you're a league like the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball, and in Chicago they have a sports book inside Wrigley Field. And like you're asking for trouble. Like you just, if you're being, welcome to the Eastern Conference Playoffs, brought to you by FanDuel. What is like people gonna think, like if something weird happens in a game, like, oh well, the NBA's in bed with FanDuel. I wonder if there's something there.
Yeah, I mean, it always raises the question. Even though you're supposed to separate that, you're not supposed to be involved. At some point, if let's say a player's in desperate straits financially, and somebody comes at him with, here's a couple $1 million. Hey, do this, not do this. You don't think some young player might at some point, even though it seems like a crazy thought, given where we used to be on this issue, we had players that were removed. Paul Horning, suspended for
Pete Rose.
Yeah, Pete Rose.
Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame then if you're going to allow sports betting from
essentially a lifetime ban on being able to be in the Hall, even though it's some of the best numbers ever.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed on the release that I'm reading, 2 of the players Moore, and Cephas let go immediately by the Lions.
Yeah, they're gone. So they're suspended for at least a year. The other 3, I believe, are getting 6 games.
6 games, yes.
Cephas and Moore of the Detroit Lions, Cephas, of course, the former Badger, they're done for the year. Now, this also happened last year with Calvin Ridley, if you remember.
Right.
Well, 2021, technically. So it's kind of been an ongoing theme, but if you're the players, and I'd be curious to see what the Players Association is saying, when you're invested all this money, and I'm not talking about just a couple of bucks, this is millions of dollars being invested into these leagues. I mean, Vegas has a sports book inside their arena for the Raiders. You are just asking for trouble. I mean, it's a very, we talked about it during the break, very slippery slope. And if you're going to include it with partnerships and money, it's going to leak into the players. They're going to bet on it.
You got to wonder at some point if, and I know that the trend is up. They want to get as much going in we see sports books opening all over the place. We see all the different venues where regular folks can bet in a state where it's legal. Like if I go to Illinois, I can go bet MGM. I can, or whatever.
You can do it at Pato now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there's an event on Saturday there with one of our teammates. It is certainly something that people like to do. But the question that I think we're asking here is, at some point, are we shocked that players aren't going to dip in? They're young people. They're going to make bad decisions. This seems like a real test of a league, this case the NFL, but also other leagues, on the integrity of your sports. If you have this influence that's circulating, swirling around your sport, it can be devastating. In this case, the Detroit Lions, I'm pretty sure they didn't want to lose those 4 players.
Those are big losses. Quintez Cephas is pretty good. Jameson Williams has the ability to be really good. Now, you don't lose him for the whole year, but, 6 games is a lot for a team that's trying to build up, from the ground up. Big-time loss for them. I can't imagine they're not the first. They're probably not going to be the last.
No, and that's the unfortunate thing. So breaking news. Thanks, producer Brandon,
of course,
on that.
thank you.
He brought it to my attention. And this is troubling on a lot. And I love to gamble, trust me. You don't go to Vegas 3 or 4 times a year if you don't love to gamble. But you have to have a separation. And I wonder, just wondering out loud, if the leagues, the professional sports leagues, have not thought this through. And now we have 6 players, and as Brandon said, who knows who else might be involved, that are losing their ability to play the sport they love because they couldn't control their gambling instincts or their habits. Big story, breaking news, NFL. We'll take a break. After the break, the Weekend Review sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Differentiation Officer Brian Wickert reminding home shoppers that working with AccuNet is different and better than working with your bank. Most bank pre-approvals state they've only verified the potential home buyer's credit, but not their income or money for down payment. To us, that's just crazy. AccuNet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval tells the seller we've checked out all 3 aspects of your financial health, and that we'll pay $2,000 if our pre-approval is faulty. Banks don't do that, but they do have a lot of overhead with all their vice presidents and fancy branches. We keep overhead low, which means lower rates and closing costs that are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks. Most importantly, our loan consultants can show you and your agent how to improve your financing and appraisal contingencies so your offer has the best chance of winning in a multiple offer situation. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Click on the blue button today for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
In Wisconsin, making memories together is for everyone, whatever your ability. So here's to soaking up surf culture right here on Wisconsin's Fresh Coast, to making time for stargazing as a family, and to imaginations clear for takeoff. Here's to festies with besties, and singing along to your favorite song. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Anticipation, looking ahead to what's coming. Preparation, training for what needs to be done when the time comes. And action, putting it all into practice. These are the traits of great leaders, but it also describes great followers of Christ, the King of Kings. Dr. Michael Ziegler talks about it this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited share a unique outside-in showroom and an open house tomorrow from 9 to 1. Find it at 665 Larry Court, Waukesha. SidingUnlimited.com.
We've all experienced that feeling of lacing up a brand new pair of shoes.
And for some reason, it always felt like new shoes made you run faster, jump higher, and of course, look better.
Yeah, it was almost magical.
A brand new set of tires on your car or truck will instantly give you that same magical feeling.
Courtney, I couldn't agree with you more. A new set of treads always makes your vehicle look better, but more importantly, allows you to stop faster and grip the road a whole lot better.
Which is necessary when the weather is bad and driving conditions are poor. You'll appreciate having the extra traction.
Remember, there isn't a tire brand on the planet we can't get.
Everything from Goodyear Continental and Kelly to Dunlop General and Pirelli. If we sell it, we install it.
Plus, every tire we sell automatically comes with free flat tire repair. So be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
I forgot to say this earlier. Happy birthday, Rome. 753 BC, the 21st of April, Rome was founded. Now, anybody who has Italian or any DNA genetics related to the Mediterranean part of the world knows that that's a big deal because Rome controlled that part of the world. And my other half of my DNA is from the UK, and of course, that was Roman territory till, when would that have been till? 100 AD? Does that sound right? Maybe 400? I know there's a lot more smarter people that are experts on world history than I am, but happy birthday, Rome. At the time, the greatest civilization the world had ever seen. Happy birthday, Rome. We should have played happy birthday song there. All right. One of the things we do every Friday at this time, the Weekend Review. This week is no different. The Bucks, yeah, they did, responded in a record-setting way. A massive defamation settlements, a rapid unscheduled disassembly, and more. It's the Weekend Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Ingles' quick touch pass to Giannis. He glides in. He got fouled as he was trying to go strong to the rack, and uh-oh.
Oh, no. There's a man down. He has a back contusion. There was x-ray that was clear here.
Adam Silver must really think about banning the charge. It is, without a doubt, the most dangerous play in the game today.
I think it's over.
Ingles zeroes in again from distance. Allen is cooking, and he shows it again. A heat check from the left side. Porter's going to launch from three and connects from the deep corner left. No Giannis, no problem tonight.
I want you to put the word out there. We back up.
23-24, we got shots fired at the district.
24-year-old Darian Parker Bell is being charged with 8 separate felonies.
Jason Belmonte!
A record 15 major championships.
Usually the players are like yelling at the guy on the mic. Can we hurry this up?
We get it. Yeah.
Stop.
Theodore McCarrick is the first current or former Cardinal to face sexual abuse charges. The Wisconsin charges allege repeated acts of sexual abuse with the victim, including at a home in Lake Geneva.
Dominion Voting Systems agreeing to an out-of-court settlement with Fox News Corporation this afternoon.
There was an inexplicable 2.5-hour delay before the judge came on the bench to say the parties had resolved their case.
The settlement is for $787 million.
It is the largest defamation settlement amount that I've heard of by a factor of several fold.
Look at this cheeseburger. Here's the headline. McDonald's said it's improving its burgers. Juicier, caramelized flavor from adding white onions to the patties while they're still on the grill.
The thing with the McDonald's is when you get the burger, like the edges are not going to be residually melting because of the burger patty at McDonald's.
Man, you're like way into this.
Nerd alert! The drive-through window is open here on WTMJ Nights. A local man named Bruce is in Seattle right now. Would you be willing tomorrow, maybe for lunch, to go and try one of these new Big Macs?
I would love to.
All right, tell us about it.
The buns were a lot softer. Kind of remind me of an old girlfriend of mine.
Hey, yo! 15 members present. I've been waiting a long time to say that. Hey!
Common Council President Jose Perez celebrating a full council. It's the first time every seat of the council's been filled since 2021.
Well, Mike Grasso gets to wear the cheese hat for the first time.
I was in the pool! Good reference right there, buddy.
Eric Bilstead baited you into delivering that line last week, Levo.
When the ball landed in the pool, you were like, Come on.
I have to say it now, those idiots.
I was in the pool! The Center District is working to preserve artwork now that's going to be removed as that downtown convention center is expanded and renovated.
Wisconsin Center District President and CEO Marty Brooks.
50% or so of the words that are up there are on walls that we are remodeling and changing.
I am here at Health Fair Field. We are collecting pet supplies for the Wisconsin Humane Society. I have a very special friend here who just happened to stop by. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bratwurst. Hello, Bratwurst. Thank you for stopping by.
That is wunderbar.
After years of opposition, there's a group of Republican lawmakers now working to build support for a medical cannabis bill.
They have not delivered results. Words are empty, actions are real.
Starship just experienced what we call a rapid unscheduled disassembly.
I'd rather stick my head in a 400-degree oven and get on an Elon Musk rocket. That's
we can arrange that.
MPD will be required to release video footage to the public within 15 days of an officer-involved death or other critical incidents.
Today we made history for our children and children of generation.
A release of the complete video within 15 days doesn't allow the investigation the time to work.
What a week, eh? What a week. A rapid unscheduled disassembly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Thank you all the folks who put that together. Another great weekend review sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. And I mentioned Rome's birthday, going way, way back to the BC era. Mike Spalding's birthday tomorrow. My guy, Mike Spalding. Happy birthday, Mike Spalding. I didn't even know this. One of his favorite TV shows, The Office. I think a lot of people could say that. And Mike, by the way, to give him some love, tremendous newsman. He does a lot of behind-the-scenes work. He makes us all sound better and look better. And I'll tell you that story next week, maybe. And he's a guy who just lives and breathes radio. So happy birthday, Mike Spalding. If you see him out and about and you know what he looks like, or if you recognize that fantastic radio voice, say happy birthday. There we go. Some love for our guy, Mike Spalding. I'm not going to ask him how old he is because he's a youngster. He's a youngster, that Mike Spalding. But one of the best teammates you could ever have right here at WTMJ. Quick break.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Tell your friends.
Francis, the Sox are on.
Tell your family.
Frankie, the Sox are on.
The Red Sox are in town.
They're playing the Brewers in Milwaukee.
It's the Brewers and the Sox.
Onto the warning track. He looks up. Bye-bye, baseball.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:35.
Yelich leads it off with a home run. His third of the season, and the Brewers on top 1-0 before you can blink.
We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited turns yards into patios and decks, fire pits, pavers, retaining walls, even screen rooms and outdoor kitchens. Come see it all at the unique Outside In Gerke's Corner showroom they share with